Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? Big game tonight. Port Adelaide versus St Kilda. Both teams in actually pretty good form at the moment, to be honest. Trying to get everything up for the live stream. Should be all good to go there. Cool. So the game's about to start. What, about a minute to go before the bounce? Close the door. Not exactly properly, but we shut it anyway. So I have tipped St Kilda for this game, but I think Port can give him a good run for it. Charlie Dixon is back. He's going to play most. I think he's going to play this as the ruckman tonight. And we've also got Finlayson will play forward. So Ollie Lord, I think, is their second forward as well. Let me just quickly check. And it will be So Tik will take the ruck, and Dixon will play forward. But I think Dixon will be the second ruck. We'll have to see. Maybe Finlayson will if gets a bit of a run on. But St Kilda in very good form at the moment, top of the table. So we'll see how if they can back it up tonight against an informed team in Port Adelaide. They haven't really beaten an informed team so far. Even Carlton last week, they weren't in the best of form before the game. But the game's about to start. First game of round 7 begins right now. Up goes the ball. Marshall knocks it down. Picks it up as well. Can't pick it up exactly. Steele gives out the handball straight to Ollie Wine. So now Port can work it forward for the first inside 50 through Dersma. Kicks it long towards the top of the 50. Up goes Dixon. Can't take the mark. Down to Pepper. Gets tackled well, but gets the kick away somehow. Butters gets tackled well by Marshall. And now St Kilda can clear it out through Stocker. He goes out and kicks it into the defensive pocket. Nice little kick over to Hill. Now Hill over to Wanganeen Malira. Now St Kilda can get moving. Wanganeen Malira plays on, but not really to any sort of plan. So he kicks it long down the wing. Up goes Filippo way too early. And now Port take the advantage. Butters kicks it inside the forward 50. Dixon wasn't ready for it. Now Dougal Howard picks it up off to Stocker. Now Wilkie. Having a great year, Callum Wilkie, and just kicks it out wide to the 100 gamer tonight in Mason Wood. Probably a lot of people wouldn't have thought he would ever get to 100 games, Mason Wood. Had so many injuries in his career early on, but he's getting a good run of form at the moment and the best form of his career. So now St Kilda work it down the forward half of the wing. Up goes Owens, can't take the mark, so it gets to Bergman. Now Wines to Aaliyah. Now Butters again. Good kick, and he finds Boak in the middle of the ground. And now Port can work it forward. Back to Bergman. Kicks it to the top of the 50, but it's a poor kick. Dixon caught behind, and great mark in the end there from Dougal Howard. Against his former team today, Port almost kicked him out of the team, if you could say that. Stocker's actually got the ball now, but Port basically got rid of Dougal Howard. It was a big thing here in South Australia, but a lot of Port fans were very disappointed to see that. But now on the wing we've got Mason Wood with the football. Goes inside. Great kick. Finds Filippo. He's been a revelation inside the forward 50. It's a great kick. Finds Jack Higgins inside the forward 50. And speaking of revelations, he's had a wonderful year so far, Jack Higgins. He'll have a chance to kick his first goal and the first goal of the game. Great work from St Kilda there to work it forward. Just almost caused a turnover on the wing there, but Mason Wood found the ball, and he's such a good kick with his left foot. And then St Kilda worked it nicely through the middle of the ground. And Jack Higgins comes in now to kick his first. Kicks on goal. Looks pretty good. Cheer squad's up, and they've got the first St Kilda. Great finish from Jack Higgins. And St Kilda lead one straight goal to Port Adelaide yet to score. Great finish from Jack Higgins there. He's been in good form this year, Jack Higgins. Last year had a lot of trouble, especially in front of goal. He wasn't the most reliable kick at all. But he looks like he's sorted that out a lot this season. He's becoming almost you could call reliable in front of goal. A great start from the Saints. I think I got Marshall as my vice, don't I? I should have to look. Hang on. I hope I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. So up goes the umpire's bounce. It's a terrible bounce, but Marshall, the umpire says play on. So now Crouch will get the clearance out wide on the outer wing. It goes to Owen. It's a great tackle from Bergman from behind. Dropped it there, Owens, and it'll roll out of bounds. So be a throw in on the centre wing, out of side right now. Owens' his second year. Probably just didn't come on as much as a lot of people thought. Had a couple of good games last year, but definitely had a good start to this season. Back in the ruck again. Teakle gets the knockdown, not to any really advantage. Dersma does get there. Butters just thumps it forward, but only as far as Steele to Filippo. Handballs it backwards, but not a very good handball. Ollie Wines gets onto it. Great smother there from Mason Wood, who kicks it inside. Great kick into the middle of the ground to Brad Hill. Mason Wood started well. Oh, this could be 50. Umpire doesn't pay it, so Hill just runs off quickly with a handball to Sinclair. It looks like he's being tagged tonight, but goes long inside the forward 50. Up goes Aaliyah, does well on the ground. Gets tackled by two Saints. Umpire calls play on, so Gresham's got the football. Handballs it back to Brad Hill. He's got a teammate in the pocket. Great kick and finds Tim Membry. So the Saints have looked pretty good so far in this game. Moving the ball a lot. Moving the ball very quickly. And Tim Membry had a pretty good start last week. Just didn't really get on the board as much as he would have liked, but he has a chance. Came back last week, and now his second game back from injury. Missed early this season for the Saints. Chance to get one back here, get them up by 2 goals. So in comes Tim Membry. Probably about a 60-degree angle on the commentary side wing. Walks in, kicks for goal, Tim Membry. Usually pretty reliable, but he's hooked it a little bit. Goes through for a behind. So it will be Ryan Burton to take the kick in here for Port Adelaide. Port just really haven't got much of the ball early in this game. He goes in short and he finds Houston, who goes immediately. Gets chased down by Butler, but gets the kick away. Long down the wing here. Up goes Burns-Jones, gets the spoil. Nicely done. McEntee tackled on Ross, but gets rid of the handball. Brad Hill runs away. Turns it over, though, with the handball. Rosie breaks past 2 tackles. He's got the nimble feet. Kicks it inside the 50. Oh, Dixon's dropped the sitter then. It's a terrible drop mark there from Dixon. So Dougal Howard will run back onto it. Sockers it off the ground there, Ross. Not the best sort of play. And now Rosie will get tackled over the boundary line. Just outside 50 for Port Adelaide. So about 50 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal. Umpire throws it in now. Tinkle's got a big test today, playing on probably one of the biggest in-form ruckmen in the competition in Marshall. Butters gets a nice little handball out there somehow to Boak, who threw that away. Should be pinned for it. Doesn't get paid. Ross picks it up off the ground and just handballs it over, just over the Jack Steele, where I was out of bounds. That should have really been gone against Travis Boak. He didn't get a handball away there. Jack Steele got him cold. Umpire didn't pay it though. Really, it depends on what week they want to pay those free kicks from the umpires. It seems. In the ruck, Tickle does pretty good body work on Marshall. Horn Francis comes through. Good tackle there from Steele. Almost takes him high, though, twice. And, he gets pinned on the ball there, Horn Francis. Got a bit unlucky there. Steele did attack him high. It looks like Brad Hill could be injured here. He's grabbed his left knee. It has got a bit of blood on it, so it could just be a little bit of a contact sort of injury here for Brad Hill. It looks like he got his actually knee stuck on Zach Butters' boots, it looks like, there in the cleats. So he should be okay. I think it's just a little bit of a stinger, to be honest. There's actually quite a little bit of blood coming out of his knee. But back to the game. Jack Steele has the ball at half back here for the Saints. Won the free kick for holding the ball on Jason Horn-Francis. Goes in short to Wangani Malira. Makes him work for it, but he does take the mark. Yeah, there's a lot of blood coming out of the knee here from Brad Hill, so he should be alright to come back on in a second. Good kick from Wangani Malira, finds Burns on the wing. So St Kilda moving it nicely, gives the handball back to Wangani Malira. Good kick going inside the forward 50 most of the time. Trent McKenzie goes back, can't take it. Membry gets the handball out to Marshall. Kicks it towards the top of the goal square here. Alita's the first one there. Great spoil, knocks it over the line for another behind. So St Kilda have started off brilliantly so far. Port have hardly had it up forward. But they've only got 1 goal to show for it. And there's only 5 minutes into this first quarter, so you want to be a bit careful here, Port Adelaide. So now Dylan Williams with a kick in. Nice little short kick. Finds Houston. Gives it back to Williams. Looks like Port's tactic tonight is to kick it and play on immediately from kick in. Goes long with the kick, gets out the back here. Hunter Clark and Burn-Jones run towards it. No one gets to it. Stocker gets away, almost through that. Somehow gets rid of it though. Clark back to Howard, and now St Kilda are switching the play. Good play in the end. Now Wilkie has the football. Goes out to Dougal Howard. In fact, no, Wilkie's got it now. He goes in short and finds Burns. Saints working down the wing with a brilliant kick. Finds Tim Membry on the lead. Right on centre wing now, the Saints. They can move it forward here. Hasn't got too many options, though. So he just goes in short. Oh, nearly got that chopped off there, the Saints. But gets there, Patton. Had a pretty good year so far, Ben Patton. Been in and out of this team for a lot of his career. But looks like he's found a good spot in the back half. Kicks it long inside the forward 50. Hunter Clark picks it up. He's got some space. Gives off the handball to Marshall, who gets taken down pretty quickly from Rioli. Gets the kick away, though. Dersmer and Mason Wood fight for the football. Dersmer gives off the handball to Teakle. Over the top to Burgoyne, who gets taken out of it. Play onto the call. Sinclair snaps it forward. That's not 15. Marshall doesn't get it paid. It wasn't 15 by any means. And it'll be a ball up just inside the forward 50 here for the Saints. Marshall tried to fool the umpire into paying that mark, but that went about 4 metres, so the umpire was never going to pay that. Marshall knocks it down, picked up by Cordy, just fumbles it. Off to Jack Steele, who gets taken down, should be pinned. And he is good tackle there from Horn Francis. Free kick to Port Adelaide in the back. 50. Well, he got back Jack Steele, who got him pinned holding the ball just a minute ago, actually. But Horn Francis will take the kick from the back 50. Long kick out wide. It's not the best option. Tickle did well to compete. Did well on the ground. Got the football. Handballs it off to Rosie. Rosie doesn't have too many options to go to, but just keeps on dancing around on his quick feet. Eventually kicks it long. Down to Pau Pepper, who takes a brilliant mark. No, dropped it. Play onto the call. Stocker does well with the body. Now battle off to Clark. And now Dougal Howard just snaps it backwards. Not the best kick, but does very nicely there, Wilkie. And now we have a chance with Burns here for the Saints. Doesn't have too many options, so he has to go back to Wilkie, who just snaps it across the body. Terrible kick, though. Came off the instep, and now Pau Pepper can cause the turnover. Can't pick it up, though. Gets tackled by a Saint, who is Jack Steele. Now, working hard there, Membry can't pick it up, but Sinclair does nicely, is clean. Gives off the handball to Steele, who can go forward. Finds Jay Gresham. He's got a couple of options inside the forward 50. Owens is one of them. Great spoil from Burgoyne from behind. Gresham runs away, gives off the handball. Butler can't pick it up. Eventually does. Kicks it in short with the left foot. That kick went about 2 metres. Rosie's tackled without it. Play onto the call. Threw that out there, Butler. Mason Wood on his right foot. Snaps towards goal. Cordy should get there and takes it in the pocket. Fucking hell, I'm breathing hard. But that's a great kick. And now Zane Cordy in the pocket. Doesn't be hard to kick this. He does not a known goal kicker on his left foot. He'll have to snap on the left. Comes in from the pocket. Snaps towards goal and kicks it. The Saints get their second of the first quarter. And they have had a very good start to this game. Great start there for Zane Cordy. Great little mark in the pocket there. Just worked off his opponent. Just saw his teammates were going to win it. Just worked forward and then got an easy mark in the pocket. Snapped the goal. Jesus Christ. So Brad Hill's got his knee strapped up. It looks like it's just for blood, so he will be coming back on the field very shortly. Back in the ruck now. Teakle with a great tap down to Horn Francis, who gets a free kick, takes the advantage though, kicks inside the forward 50. Not the best kick, will dribble forward. Can't be picked up there by Dougal Howard. Gets out the back. Wilkie and Dixon work onto it. Does well there, Dixon. Finlayson snaps towards goal. The bounce isn't that good. Rolls away. Stays in somehow and eventually rolls out. So roll into the forward pocket here for Port Adelaide. Their first forward stoppage for the game. Great work from Horn Francis in the end, actually, at the stoppage. Fucking it's blistering down outside at the moment, but anyway. Back in the ruck now, Dixon and Owens. Dixon knocks it down. Stocker will be the first one there. Gets to kick away. Rioli, good pressure. Only goes as far as Dersmer, who kicks towards goal here for Port Adelaide's first of the match. He does very nicely. Xavier Dersmer, pull out the arrow. Great finish from the pocket. And Xavier Dersmer has Port Adelaide's first. Was in and out of form last season, in and out of the senior team, but this year looks like he's found that spot again, once again on the wing. And a great finish in the end from Dersma on about 50 metres out from goal, about a 60-degree angle, just nailed it. Didn't look like missing. And Port Adelaide have their first of the match. Great pressure from Port Adelaide. Actually, it was Rioli. Just put a lot of pressure on Stocker, so he had to just get rid of it. And then it caused the turnover, and Dersma off basically one step, kicked a beauty. And now Port Adelaide are in this game now. So it is going to be Finlayson taking the second ruck role tonight. And Owens is in the ruck as he's taking the second ruck role all season long. Owens actually wins the tap very nicely down to Crouch off the steal. Now Mason Wood just snaps it across his body and rolls towards the forward 50. Now Dylan Williams on Gresham here. Williams went to ground but did well to tap it out nicely. Horn-Francis threw that out. Crouch he got unlucky there not to get the free kick. Ollie Wines works hard on the ground nicely and gives out the handball to Burton. Just kicks it towards the wing now. Burn Jones and Willem Drew work it out nicely. Now Drew goes long towards forward 50. Dixon almost gets taken out of that. Umpire calls play on it. Rolls out the back to McEntee here. If he takes his time, he could do something good with it. So he just kicks it up towards the pocket, up to a sky ball. Dixon can't do much with it. Lord picks it up, gives out the handball. McEntee off to Drew. Snaps her about 45 metres out to the top of the goal square where there's all Saints players. And now Wanganeen Malera will run it off half-back. Kicks it short. Nice kick to Brad Hill. Doesn't have too many options though on the commentary side wing, so he just decides to hold it. Looks like they're going to calm it down a little bit here, St Kilda. Now it's Stocker. Back to Hill. Just racking up a couple of disposals here at the back half. So now Hill kicks it long. Long to a pack here. Looks like Dylan Williams had to sit. Spoiled it forward nicely. Now goes to Brad Hill again, working hard. Dersma gets onto it, but then just rolls it out of bounds. True centre wing commentary side right now. Had a couple of options there, Port Adelaide. Unfortunately, there Drew. When he snapped it towards goal, he had two players about 30 metres out from goal on their own, but he decided to go for glory and messed it up. Now Marshall knocks it down. Horn-Francis again. He started off well tonight. Out with nice little handball out to Rosie, who just fumbled it at the crucial stage. So now Wanganeen Malera gives it off to Ross. And Ross kicks it long down the wing. Up goes Dersma. Does well. Oh, Marshall's been hit hard here. His knee went right into, it looks like, the hip flexor of Marshall. And Marshall's down at the moment. He can't. He's getting up now. Actually, you know what? I think he's been hitting a little bit of the family jewels, if you could put it that way. But the ball's back now. Aaliyah does well against Crouch. Smothers the handball and eventually takes it out. Actually, no, it was on the hip. Marshall's holding his hip at the moment. As it happened, Dersma went up for the mark. And he almost hit him like in the kidney to hip area. He did get him in the front and the side. So it could be a little bit of a kidney issue here. Marshall's up and walking okay now. So he should be fine. It may have just been a little bit of a sharp pain there, really, with the knee going into the hip. It never feels good. But now Marshall knocks it down. Horn-Francis again. He started off very nicely. Bergman goes long with the kick to the top of the 50. Lord in a one-on-one. Does well to bring it to ground. Drew off to Rioli. Had a bit of a quiet start to the year. Kicks inside the 450 with an absolute grubber. Terrible. Does well on the ground. McEntee to work for it. Now Wines kicks it across the body. Snaps towards goal. It fades to the right. Goes through for no score. Goes out of bounds on the full. Now Dersma actually need Marshall in the side there. It's actually gone off. So Dersma, who really put the knee into Marshall, has came off second best. Now Wilkie goes long with the kick. It's a terrible one. Actually goes straight over the top of Brad Crouch and goes out of bounds. Uncharacteristic start for Callum Wilkie. He's made a couple of errors with his kicking when he's usually been one of the better kicks for St Kilda. So back in the ruck now. Palpepper and Marshall. Marshall just takes it out of the ruck and kicks it forward. Does really nicely. It's taken well by Gresham. So now just forward half of the centre wing. He's got a couple of options inside the forward 50, just one-on-one. So he decides to go in short. Get his teammates to move forward. So Hunter Clark has the football. About on top of the 50, about 70 metres out. Short little kick. It's a nice one to the lead of Cordy. Couldn't get onto it. Now Gresham kicks it towards goal to the top of the goal square. One-on-one. Owens gets taken down. I think he's going to get a free kick here, Owens. He does. Burton's tackled him on the goal line, which definitely isn't allowed, and Owens will get a certain goal, just kicks it through, and St Kilda have their third of the night. Great work there from Owens, just work back into Burton, so Burton would have to grab on. And they've got their third, St Kilda. So Owens has been a revelation for the team this year. They had a bit of a quiet start to 2022 in his draft year, but he's definitely came on so far in 2023. So a great start to this game. St Kilda lead by 20-6. At the moment, leading ball getters on the ground are all 6 disposals to Mason Wood, Steele, Marshall, and Hill. And the leading disposal getter on the ground for Port Adelaide is Ollie Wines with the 5, along with Horn Francis, who's probably been best for Port Adelaide so far. So back in the ruck, Marshall knocks it down. Crouch tries to soccer it away, can't get there. Taps it out though. Good tackle though. Oh, bad tackle there from Marshall. Horn Francis tries to break out of the tackle. Somehow gets the handball away. Winds to Drew. Kicks it to the top of the 50 with a great kick. And Zach Butters found all on his own, about 30 metres out, straight in front. Great work from Drew. He took his time there. Last time he went inside the forward 50, he just turned it over immediately and blazed away. But that kick was a very nice, composed kick going inside the forward 50. And Zach Butters should kick this one from here. So now Zach Butters. He kicked 3 goals this year. Usually known as a goal kicker, but he's moved a little bit more midfield this season. Has only got the 3. So this is his 4th goal of 2023. Comes in for goal. Kicks it towards the left goal post and it fades left. That's a poor miss there from Zach Butters. Goes for the first blemish for Port Adelaide tonight. So now Jack Sinclair will take the kick out here. Probably get an easy touch here. He looks like he's going to be tagged tonight. Goes along with the kick. Nice kick. Finds Jack Steele. He hasn't got many options, Jack Steele, so he decides to go long. Long kick. He's actually going to go on the full. That's a terrible kick from Steele. And Trent McKenzie will take the free kick. Goes in short. Nice little kick to Rosie. Gets pressure. That should be 50 against Ross. Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. So Rosie on true centre wing out of side. As the ball goes long, top of the 50 now. All St Kilda. Does well Dixon to bring it to ground. Steele gets it on the ground. Handballs it out wide to Crouch. Hasn't got too many options. Rioli does well to bring him down. Then Horn Francis, good tackle on Burns. Now Burn-Jones picks it up. Kicks it to the top of the 50. Great kick. Finds Dixon. He's about 55 metres out from goal. Howard almost creeps over the line, but doesn't just. So Dixon, he's going to have to kick this from about 55-60. He gives off the handball to Trent McKenzie, who's about 60 metres out from goal. He launches towards goal, and it's gone out on the full. It was a terrible decision. Trent McKenzie would have had to kick that at least 60 metres, and he is known as a booming kick, but that was a little bit too far. So Jack Sinclair has the free kick in the back pocket. Goes short to Wanganeen Malera. Now Wilkie. They've worked it onto the commentary side here, St Kilda. Back to Sinclair. They're trying to give him a couple of good touches while he's being tagged at the moment. Goes to Wanganeen Malera. He played on there. That's gone. And now he's being called for 50 against Dan Houston for a dissent. That's a shocking decision because he played on there, Wanganeen Malera. But Dan Houston was a little bit undisciplined. Shouldn't have given away that 50. So Sinclair has the ball now. Short little kick. Umpire was a bit generous there. That 50 was only about 40 metres. But now Sinclair gives it off to Wilkie and kicks it short to Wanganeen Malera. Not the best kick. St Kilda don't really know which player to go to it. So Mason Wood drops it. And then Wanganeen Malera fumbles it out of bounds. So St Kilda really made a meal of that. But they're just outside 50 now, St Kilda. Just over 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. The umpire throws it in now. Teagle gets taken high from Marshall. And Teagle will get the free kick. So actually hasn't had a bad start here, Teagle. Was a mid-season draftee for Port Adelaide a couple of years ago. Came in last year with a lot of injuries to their ruck stocks. Great smother there from Brad Hill. Came across Jace Burgoyne. There's a great smother in the end from Brad Hill. He's looked with a lot of intent tonight. And he started off very nicely. So back in the ruck now, Marshall knocks it down, just bobbles around inside the stoppage there. Ross gets it out wide to Crouch, who just basically threw it away. And now Owens will get the free kick. Houston's got to be careful. He wouldn't want to give away 50 for a dissent as well. He's already done once tonight. So Owens will get the free kick. He'll be able to drive it inside the forward 50 where St Kilda have looked dangerous. He goes along to the top of the goal square. Up goes Cordy. Across the side, the Teakle drops the mark. Higgins gives off the handball only as far as Mackenzie, who gets it smothered. Now Bergman. A little dangerous handball, not really to anyone in particular. Steele gives off to Filippo. Filippo saw out the corner of his eye to Higgins. Higgins out to Membry. He just has to snap across his right boot and snaps a beauty for the Saints. They've got their fourth and they're looking dangerous in this first quarter. Great play there from St Kilda, and Membry has his first. 23 minutes gone in this first quarter, and St Kilda looking the goods. Still 5 minutes to go in this first quarter, but they're playing brilliant footy. Great work from St Kilda there. Jack Steele's had a brilliant start to this game with the 9 touches and 3 tackles as well. Known as a tackler last year and the year before that when he was having brilliant games for St Kilda. And he had a bit of a tough start last week. Didn't have the best game for the Saints. Looked a little bit sluggish after coming back from injury. But tonight he's looking the goods. And he started off very nicely for the Saints. And Membry with a great goal there. So back in the ruck again. Marshall gets the advantage for this tap. Sorry, it was Teakle who got the advantage. But only goes as far as Ross. Back to Steele. He's got his 10th touch now. Kicks it away down to the wing. Owens and Bergman in a one-on-one. Owens does well to tap it out. Filippo gets tackled. Somehow gets the handball away very nicely. But Ollie Wines causes the turnover. Butters. Now over to Boak. Been a bit quiet so far. Travis Boak kicks it short. And it's a poor kick. Turned over and straight to Ben Patton. So now Patton on the wing. Out of side. Hasn't got too many options, so they go long again. Still looking pretty dangerous in these sort of plaques. Long kick, spoiled well by Bergman. Aaliyah gets the first one back. Breaks past Owens, does nicely. Breaks past the second tackle. The handball's a bit weird, but it gets out to Bergman somehow. Now Ollie Wines has the ball, kicks it in short. Great kick in the end and finds Burton. Strong mark there from Burton. 4 minutes to go in this first term. St Kilda up by 19. So it looks like Port are going to switch the play. Burton kicks it across to Aaliyah. He's got Burgoyne on the commentary side wing, just outside the centre square. He goes short to Dersman. I don't think that made the distance. So Dersman just immediately kicks it back to Burgoyne. Port got a couple of options inside the middle of the ground, but Burgoyne decides to go long with the kick. Kicks it about 45 metres out to a long kick to Teakle. Couldn't bring it down. Now Sinclair gets to it, gives off the handball. Now Patton over the top to Howard. He can't get to it though. Rioli takes the contact and gets tackled. He can't pick it up though. Now on the ground, Rosie does nicely against Hunter Clark. Clark dragged that in there. He could be in a bit of trouble. He somehow gets it out though. Now Burn Jones has dragged it in. And the umpire will give him the reprieve and pull it up. Forward pocket, just outside 50 here for Port Adelaide on the commentary side. Just over 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Dixon knocks it down, only as far as Steele though. It wasn't the best handball. So Steele handballs it back to Ross on the right boot. Goes long down just outside of 50. Owens goes up, can't bring it down. Aaliyah leaves it behind. Fights hard to get it back though, does nicely. Butters over to Burton. Breaks past Marshall nicely. Kicks it inside the forward 50 with the leading Finlayson who can't mark it. Dropped the sitter really. Now Burn Jones turns it over. Now Sinclair back turns it over. Now over the top to Boak. Kicks it towards goal. And Travis Boak kicks one back for Port. Great finish from Travis Boak. Great pressure from Port Adelaide. And they needed that one because St Kilda looked a little bit dangerous heading late into this first quarter. Great finish from Travis Boak. Finlayson worked really hard in the forward line there. He has to be big tonight because he has to play as a second ruck role as he's done a lot of his Port Adelaide career. But coming back onto the ground now, probably Port's best player, Jason Horne-Francis, back into the stoppage. Port Adelaide's midfield is quite young. I mean, if you think about it, Butters, Rosie, and Horne-Francis, that wasn't their midfield three really last year either. I don't think any of those three were playing in the midfield regularly at the start of last year. This year, that's their regular three. And Travis Boak, now getting late in his career, he has to start kicking goals, and he's done nicely there. How you doing, Captain LF? Back in the ruck now. Teakle gets tackled without the football. He'll get the free kick out. Oh no, Horne-Francis will get the free kick here for Port. He's looked ominous early. Ken Hinkley's favourite son, it looks like. So Horne-Francis goes in short to find Houston. Bit of a shaky start for Dan Houston, but has the ball now. If Port can get another one here, they've done pretty well to keep close because St Kilda have definitely been the better of the two teams in this quarter. And a great kick finds Aaliyah For an unlikely goal scorer. No, I'm actually a Sydney Swans supporter, man. My brother's a Port supporter. So, we don't want to talk about last week. Who do you support, man? Aliria just faded in nicely inside the forward 50. And no St Kilda player wanted to go near him. So, Aliria, I don't think he's kicked many goals for Port Adelaide. He's kicked 5 in his career. So Aliria comes in, 45 metres out, kicked it like a defender, goes to the forward pocket. Up goes Teagle, can't take the mark. Dersmer on the ground, just sockers it forward, can't pick it up. Eventually does get onto it. Pepper tries to wrench it out of there, can't get to it. Now Butters gets it out somehow. Burn-Jones snaps around the body on his left and snaps it through for a point. You go for Richmond. Oh, okay. I don't want to talk about your season so far either. No offense. Sinclair tried to get it out of defensive 50, but smothered well by McEntee and locks it inside the forward 50 for Port Adelaide. So just over a minute and a half to go in this first quarter. St Kilda lead by 12, but probably should be up by a little bit more. I think they've definitely had a lot more of this first quarter to warrant more than a 2-goal lead. Back in the ruck, Dixon knocks it down. Horn Francis comes through, somehow gets the handball away. Does nicely in the end. Houston does turn it over, though, with a tunnel ball. And now Hunter Clark gets it out to Higgins, back to Ross, and he goes in short, finds Membry. Great kick. Got a question, what's your next 5 premiers? Next 5 premiers? I think Melbourne are pretty close this year. Collingwood this year as well. Fucking hell. Next 5 premiers. Christ. I think, and I don't like to say this because I don't like the Crows, but I think the Crows could be up there soon as well because their forward line is very dangerous. I think Sydney can do it, but they're not playing well this year. I don't think they can do it this year. And who's that for? I don't know. I don't know like what in a row or whatever. And who else? Maybe Brisbane, but they got to get their defense right. So St Kilda have the ball now inside their forward 50. Owens did nicely, and now Brad Hill will have a chance to kick about 45 out. Kicks it in short, actually, and finds Jade Gresham. Poor defence there from Port Adelaide. And with about 14 seconds to go, Jade Gresham goes around the body, snaps towards goal, and kicks it. Great finish from Gresham, and Port Adelaide St Kilda have their 5th for the first quarter. Great finish in the end. Well, surprisingly, considering Jack Sinclair was actually... It looked like Port were going to tag him tonight. He's had 13 touches in this first quarter. So, Port Adelaide aren't the best at tagging half-backs. We saw in round 2 against Collingwood and Nick Dacos. They did that very poorly. And Nick Dacos was one of the better players on the ground. Are you going to get the new AFL 23 game, man? Captain LF. So 6 seconds to go in this first quarter. St Kilda lead by 18. This should be the score into quarter time. Back in the ruck now. Umpire thumps it down. Teagle goes up. Doesn't get the tap though. Marshall knocks it down to Ross. Back to Hunter Clark. And kicks it out wide towards the wing. And then... You're getting it on release. Yeah, I'll be doing the same. So you think 2020... You think St Kilda are going to win it this year? St Kilda go back to back. Then the Crows. Then Sydney. Then Port. Then Richmond. Then Melbourne. Then Freo. Jesus Christ, okay. I don't trust St Kilda just yet. They have not really beaten they beat Carlton last week, but Carlton have not been looking that good the last few weeks. They're yet to play Brisbane, Collingwood. They lost to Collingwood. And let's be honest, they played poor in that. I was at that game. They played pretty I live in SA, so I was at Gather Round. They played pretty poor against Collingwood, and they only just caught back in the last few minutes when what do you call it? Collingwood, basically. I think they just stopped at the end of the game, to be honest with you. We're in the top 5. There. Okay. I want a feeling. Toyota. Alright. Hey, sorry, just bring up the statistics, guys. I don't know what order I was aligning those in, by the way. I don't really know who's going to be the next premier, but if I had to pick this year, I think Collingwood are the favourites at the moment. The start of the year, I thought it was Geelong, but they beat Sydney last week, who played woeful footy. I think that was one of the worst games Sydney have played in the last 15 years that I've been watching them. Alright, so quarter time, guys. The statistics, best ball winners on the ground. With the 13 touches, we have Jack Sinclair's played brilliantly. Jack Steele with the 11 along with Seb Ross. And then highest for Port Adelaide, Ollie Wines and Horn Francis with the 8. And the AFL fantasy scorers out there, we have 48 to Sinclair, 43 to Wanganeen Malira, 43 to Steele, 42 to Hill, and 35 to Jade Gresham. Laying out the top 5 for those as well. Saints could drop. Not gonna lie, this stream's better than Riles. Free sub. Cheers, AFL Kid, man. Appreciate it. Who's Riles? Sorry, Saints could drop. You're pretty known in the community, are you? I'm gonna start looking you guys up. Oh, no, don't click that, Dylan. Oh, you idiot. I didn't mean to click that. Fucking moron. Anyway, sorry. Probably shouldn't swear, but anyway. I'm going to swear. Riles Macca. I'm going to look that up. Hang on. I don't follow a lot of the AFL YouTube. I probably should, I probably should if I'm going to get involved in it. Oh, wait. The Riles Macca. That does actually ring a bell. Hang on. I think I know who this is. Oh, yeah. I've seen a few of these. His thumbnails are way better than mine. I'll give him. Oh yeah, I've seen some of his videos. Yeah, his thumbnails are way better than mine. What the fuck? He's a Swan supporter. Okay, legend. Love you. Appreciate you guys saying that. We don't really care about swearing. Well, good, because I'm gonna swear. I swear quite a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if Richmond are playing catch-up all mid-season. Yeah, they got a couple of injuries. They could definitely catch back. What's your name? Captain LF. Okay. Oh, I think I may have seen a few of your stuff, Captain. You got more subscribers than me. I've only got, what, 13? Or 14 now. Wait, 13 or 14? How many have I got? Oh, I don't... This is like a... How many channels have I got now? Oh, 15. Alright, thanks for subscribing, by the way, guys. How many channels have I got now? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4... Sorry, 1, 2, 3... This is my 4th YouTube channel. Probs haven't seen mine, though. AFL Kid. No, I don't think I've seen many AFL YouTubers, to be honest. I mean, obviously know the big ones like Caden McDonald and Cadman, or Cardman, sorry. Cardman. Not Cadman. Idiot, that's the fucking AFL player. Is it Cardman? Yeah, No, is it... Hang on, I've got to look this up now. Is it Cardman or Cadman? No, it's Cardman. Cardman 22. So what are you? AFL Kid. Is that no, oh, 4. How many subscribers did you say you had? Hang on, I've got to look at the picture now. Probs haven't seen Cardman. Yeah, I thought it was Cardman. Yeah, but I only started this AFL channel at the start of the season. Oh my god. Dersman got sent injured. Is he out? Is he? Let's have a look. I love how they're all talking about how much they're booing Horn Francis when... Like, I don't think they should be booing him, but I don't really care. Like, if they're going to boo him, bull power to you. Whatever. I think it's ridiculous that fucking the commentators are saying, oh, you shouldn't be fucking booing Horn Francis. It's like, you're the one who started it out, like the Melbourne Victorian shit. You wanted to make him booed, and then now you're trying to teach people a lesson. Like, get fucked. Anyway, the community is pretty small because I got noticed at a match by 7 people. Really? Holy shit. Yeah, it's because AFL, like, on YouTube isn't, like, much seen. I think it could actually grow pretty quickly if the AFL media... because I think the AFL media is pretty fucking trash now, to be honest. Like the mainstream media. I think it's pretty trash. So, I wouldn't be too surprised, honestly, if YouTube takes over a little bit with the AFL YouTube. Hang on, Pal Pepper kicks towards goal, runs in towards the top of the goal square and misses. Sorry. I try to commentate these games, but when they've got people here, I'm not going to ignore you guys, so... I'll try to keep an eye on the game while I'm reading the chat. And then if you guys head off or whatever, I'll keep on commentating. You got noticed by when you have 7? Fucking hell. Oh, you're a Richmond supporter, though, because I think I may have heard of a few live streams that you've done. Maybe seen a live stream or two. But yeah, Port Adelaide, we'll get back to the game now while we're waiting. So Port Adelaide, Wilkie has the ball here just on defensive side of the wing here for St Kilda. In fact, it's Seb Ross to be a ball up. I tipped St Kilda by 14. I think I tipped them by about 10, I think. So in the ruck now, Marshall gets the tap down to Drew. Can't get the handball away though. Steelers sacking him very nicely. The umpire will pin him holding the ball. And St Kilda will move it forward now. Ross has the football. Doesn't have too many options. Just gives off the handball nicely to Brad Hill, who kicks it towards the forward 50. Great kick, finds Jade Gresham on the lead. Kicks it towards the top of the 50. Great kick. Filippo can't get there. But he will get the free kick here. About 35-40 out from goal. Tik will give away the free kick. And Filippo, been a revelation for St Kilda this season. Will have a chance to kick his first of the match. Growing quickly. I had 150 last week. Now it's 171. Hoping to get 500 this year. Yeah, that's pretty fair to get there, man. So Filippo snaps across the body, but it's a shocking kick. Goes out of bounds on the full in the forward pocket. I had 16 last week. Now I have 58. Yeah, it's pretty big, man. Like, this isn't... Like, if... I would try to put out daily videos, but I have like 3 other channels like that aren't AFL related. So Marshall has the free kick now, just outside 50, kicks it towards the forward 50 here into the forward pocket. Up goes Owens, can't bring it down though. On the ground, Higgins run past the ball. Burton taps it forward nicely to Houston. Now Bonner's on the field, so Dersma has been taken out of this game, and Bonner ran out of bounds, so will be out of bounds to throw in. Inside the forward 50 here for St Kilda. Yeah, so I do, like, me and my brother do, like, a podcast every week, and then I split them out into, like, 1 or 2 clips into a video, like, from the podcast, and put them into clips for the channel. So I get, like, 2 or 3 videos out a week, and then I try to do 1 or 2 live streams. So Matt Owens comes in from the right, gets tackled from behind, gets the handball away. Higgins kicks towards goal, a kick goes across the body, rolls out of bounds. My old YouTube channel got hacked and had 700 subs. Had since 2015, but got hacked in 2021. That sucks, man. I'm always afraid of my channels doing that. I think I have two-factor authentication on my channels, but even then, I'm not 100% convinced. I've seen like huge channels, like 250,000 subscribers, get hacked, and they struggle to get it back. So Crouch in the stoppage, gives it back to Brad Hill. He snaps it towards top of the 50, about 25 metres out. Up goes Membry, gets spoiled well from behind from Aaliyah. Picked up there by Gresham. Great handball. That 20-metre handball to Sinclair. Snaps towards goal. Comes back, but just rolls through for a behind. So lead by 18 at the moment, St Kilda. My whole channel has 58,000 views. That's pretty good. So kicks it long there, Bergman. Long kick. Finlayson's been held by the jumper. I probably should have seen that. Cool play on. Filippo gives out the handball to Sinclair, who kicks it to the top of the 50. Great kick and finds Membry. So man on the mark is on the 50-metre line. It's going to be a long kick here for Membry. He can get on them, though. So you can give him a chance from here. He's got Dougal Howard right behind him. He'd love to get a goal against his old side. Won't do it, though. So now Membry's. Kick 1 tonight. Can he get his second here? He's going to be a long way out. He's going to have to come out towards the right-hand side, get some extra distance, I would expect. Comes in towards goal. Oh, it feigns the kick, actually. Kicks it short to Filippo. Goes over his head, though. Now Tikul gets the kick away. Should have actually been a mark to Brad Hill, but gets the kick towards the top of the 50. About 30 metres out, in fact, and Rosie causes the turnover and takes the mark. So he switches the play to Bonner, who was the sub tonight. I'll be back at halftime. All good, man. Appreciate you joining the stream, Captain LF. So Bonner goes in short and finds Bergman. Been very good this year for Port Adelaide. Miles Bergman's taken over the wingman role since Carl Amon left to Hawthorn. So he goes long with the kick down to the wing. Up goes Marshall. Brilliant mark in the end from Rowan Marshall. Well, he goes inside the middle of the ground. Great kick in the end, finds to Gresham. Great handball over the top to Stocker. And now Cordy goes long towards the top of the 50. Top of the goal square, actually. Owens goes towards it. Can't actually pick it up, though. Got worried out of it by Ali and it rolls out of bounds. AFL kid, you still here? I appreciate it, dude. Oh, good. So, forward pocket here for St Kilda. Umpire throws it in now. Tikul almost gets grabbed by Owens. Just fists it towards the boundary. Horn Francis gets there first, gives the handball back to Aaliyah, who just thumps it just outside defensive 50. Burn Jones did nicely from behind to spoil it, but only goes as far as Gresham. He turns it over back to Port Adelaide to Miles Bergman. Goes long down the wing. Does well there, Ollie Lord, to bring it to ground. Battle, fumbles it. Dixon threw that out there. Umpire pays holding the ball. And Marshall will get the free kick for holding it here. He's done very nicely in his second quarter early on here, Rowan Marshall. So Dixon came back from injury this week, and he's got his knee heavily strapped, and he's not moving too well at the moment. Marshall kicks it long towards the forward 50. Horn Francis will kick it out of there. Goes towards the ball there, Ollie Lord. Almost gets taken high. Battle does nicely. Sinclair now picks it up, kicks it towards the forward 50. Now Williams does nicely. Worried Higgins out of it. Takes a little short step to steady himself, and a nice kick finds Finlayson. And now Port Adelaide on the counter. Can actually get away here. Junior Rioli's found himself all on his own, about 70 out from goal. Takes the mark. Goes in short. Burn Jones. Oh, he should have marked it. Great spoil in the end from Marshall, though. And now, St Kilda on the counter. Sinclair has the ball. Goes over with the handball. Dangerous handball, though, to Mason Wood. Not the best. He does get the kick away, but again, turned it over. It's been back and forth footy in the second quarter. Houston went short to Rosie. Couldn't mark it, but he worked hard to get back onto it, Houston. Now kicks it long towards the top of the 50. Great kick! And he finds Pau Pepper, who worked it nicely. And Pau Pepper's got Rioli in short. He finds him. Great work there from Port Adelaide. St Kilda have started the second quarter like a house on fire, but Port Adelaide, a chance to bring it back to 2 goals. Hasn't had a big start to the season. Junior Rioli had a good start in round 1. He kicked 3 goals, but since then has been very quiet in his last, 4 or 5 games. He's only kicked 3 goals in the other games this season. But now Junior Rioli has a lot of potential to be one of the better forwards for Port Adelaide. He comes in, 40 metres out, pretty much straight in front, kicks towards goal, it fades to the right, and it'll go through for a behind. Poor kick there from Willie Rioli. Sorry, Junior Rioli. That's a poor kick. He should have done better than that. Why do I feel like the Power will kick like 5 in a row? I don't know. St Kilda, I think, should be further in front right now. Sinclair from the back square, kicks it long. Bergman goes up, can't take the mark. Owens did well with the body to push him away from that one. But a turnover, back to Butters. And Bo kicks it towards the forward pocket. Can Burn Jones get there? He does! So Port Adelaide repeat inside 50s. Could result in a goal here. Burn Jones is tied up against the forward pocket, though. Against the boundary. He's actually going to have to stand on the fence here. A couple of St Kilda fans gesturing to touch his butt, to touch his ass there. Don't know about that. That guy's got his finger out. I don't know if he wants to touch his ass a little bit more. So now Burn Jones in the forward pocket, just centres it as he came on the side of his boot. I don't know if he meant that. Goes to the top of the square, can't get there. Now on the ground, Crouch gets there first. Does nicely. Pau Pepper can't grab it though. Now Stocker has the football. Gets tackled nicely by Drew. It'll be a ball in. That'll be a ball up. Adelaide getting the ball, but not having accuracy. Yeah, Port's kicking in this towards goal has been pretty atrocious in the second quarter. So now in the ruck, Dixon falls over, doesn't get the ball. Stocker gets taken down almost without it. Now Rioli gives it back to Rosie. If Rosie has some space here, he could kick a goal himself. Snaps it towards the top of the 50. Great kick and finds Dan Houston. About 40 metres out. Pretty much straight in front. Rosie gets to the football. You know something's going to happen. He's got a few more early touches in the second quarter, Connor Rosie. Didn't get a lot of it in that first quarter. But he did nicely there. He's always going to do something with the football, Connor Rose. He hardly ever wastes it. And now Dan Houston. Port Adelaide have finally got a little bit of momentum in this game. They need to start scoring. They've only had 3 set shots in this game, and only got 2 behinds to show for it. Houston comes in, dead straight. Port Adelaide are back in this one. Dan Houston kicks Port Adelaide's third goal of the game and first of the second quarter. Great finish. Where did I get the scoreboard graphic? I just made it. Wasn't really that hard. I just made like, if you look, I'll quickly show you. So, I obviously just get the pics from YouTube. No. I just get the pics from YouTube. And I just made like a white rectangle thing here and then a black circle in the middle. So that's the score, obviously. Yeah, I just made it. It wasn't that difficult. I do a lot of stuff with things for Photoshop and stuff, so it wasn't that difficult. So back in the middle now. Zane Cordy will get the tap, but only as far as himself. Tap the basically down to himself, and Tik will tackles him, so it'll be another stoppage right in the middle of the ground. Still 12 minutes to go in this second quarter. A lot of stuff has happened for a quarter that's only gone about 8 minutes. So now the umpire out of play has actually called the free kick. So free kick to St Kilda. Hunter Clark will have to take it. So Hunter Clark will have to come back and get the football. But he'll take the kick here. So Clark has the football. Centre square right now. Looks like he'll drive it towards the forward 50 here for St Kilda. Big pack of players. Up goes Membry, almost uncontested. Nearly grabs it. Mason Wood picks it up off the pack. Snaps towards goal. It's bending. It's bending. It goes towards goal. Luckily, Mackenzie got on the line to touch it. That would have actually faded through for a goal there if Mackenzie wasn't there to touch that one. So now Port Adelaide have the football. Dylan Williams has it in the back pocket. Umpire calls him to play on, so he has to drive it off his left foot. Long kick. Up goes Finlayson. Can't take the mark. On the ground now. Working hard there still. Can't get to it. Now Butters gets the football. Nice handball off to Burgoyne. Now Finlayson kicks it long. Not the best kick. It fades towards the forward flank. Great pick up there from Bogue. Works around on his right foot. Has heaps of time. Gives off the handball. Now McEntee kicks towards goal. McEntee. Will it get there? It does! Port Adelaide have 2 in a row. Jed McEntee with a great finish. And Port Adelaide are right back in this one. Really, this came out of nowhere. Port Adelaide really haven't done much in the first quarter. They didn't really start this second half quarter off very well. But suddenly they've kicked 2 straight goals and they're looking the goods at the moment. Great kick there from Jed McEntee. Did well on the line there as well. Charlie Dixon to shepherd that one through. Great work there from Travis Bogue. He's had a few important touches in this game so far. And now we go back to the middle. Just over 11 minutes to go in the second term. So now back in the ruck. Lord knocks it down to Boak. He gives it off to Ollie Wines, playing on the wing at the moment, which is a bit surprising. Back to Williams. Young man's only had played a few games, but his raking left foot has set wonders at Port Adelaide. Long kick. Comes through Burne-Jones. Gets tackled from behind. That was almost a throw and a roll out of bounds. Just outside the forward 50 here for Port Adelaide. The umpire throws it in now. Cordy knocks it down, but only straight to Horn Francis. He breaks through, kicks towards goal 50. Dixon goes up, almost takes it, but from behind. Now Finlayson snaps. He's goaled it! Port Adelaide level at Marvel Stadium. And Jeremy Finlayson with a great finish. Port Adelaide came out of nowhere and suddenly it's level at Marvel Stadium. I think I'll be right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you said 5 in a row. They've kicked 3 in a row, and they're looking a lot better than St Kilda at the moment. That just came out of nowhere. Port Adelaide looked shell-shocked early in this game, to be honest, and now they've suddenly kicked 3 in a row. They're looking a lot stronger over the footy too. St Kilda don't want to bury their head in and get the ball out. And Horn Francis did nicely off the stoppage there. Just grabbed the ball, ran towards 50 and kicked it. Not a best kick, but he gave Dixon a chance to put a contest in. And Dixon will always bring a contest, and great play from Port in the end. So Port Adelaide have kicked the only 3 goals of this second term, and they're looking the goods at the moment. Back in the ruck now. Teagle goes up early, knocks it down. Only goes as far as Mason Wood, who gets the clearance here for St Kilda. Kicks it towards the top of the 50. Great mark from Butler. Gives the handball straight across to Filippo. Has no right boot, though. Had to come back on his left, and he turned it over. So now Williams has the football. Handballs it towards Burton. Rolls along the ground. Not the best handball at all. Great pressure there from Butler, but gets off the handball nicely. Now Butters breaks the tackle nicely. Breaks 2 tackles. Now they go inside Port Adelaide. Burgoyne back to Butters. Doesn't have too many options, though, so goes to the top of the 50. Great kick in the end. Up goes Finlayson. Should have really gone for the mark. Didn't do much with it. Now Teakle on the ground. Good tackle from Wanganeen Malera. Now McEntee gets tackled as well, and now Wanganeen Malera gets the football. Back to Burns, and now Marshall. Short little kick to Wanganeen Malera. Actually cut across his teammate. Probably should have thought about that a little bit more. Now Wines over to Bergman. Somehow gets the handball out to McEntee. Does very nicely. Back to Ollie Wines. Now Palpepper runs towards the top of the 50. Has not many options, so just kicks it towards short to the pocket. Ollie Lord works hard. He's been held here, I think. No, Battle gets the free kick. So St Kilda get a little bit of a reprieve here. So Battle goes in short to Wilkie. Umpire calls play on. It's going to be dangerous. He's gone. Holding the ball. Well done there from Charlie Dixon. And Cal Wilkie's gone for holding the ball. Great pressure from Port Adelaide. That was never going to be 15. That was a shocking play there from Cal Wilkie. And Dixon just put heaps of pressure on him. And for the first time tonight, Port Adelaide could take the lead. And he really should. Dixon is about 20 metres out, the slight angle. Port Adelaide to kick their 4th in a row. Should kick this. Charlie Dixon, barely any distance to speak of, comes in towards goal and kicks it. Port Adelaide, for the first time tonight at Marvel Stadium, take the lead. Great play in the end there from Port. Love to see when the big men put on a lot of pressure inside the forward 50. And Port Adelaide, surprisingly, have the lead. One more AFL kid and you're on the money. How much money did you put on that? Port Adelaide looking the good at the moment. Wilkie just did not know that Dixon was coming from behind. To quote Dennis Cometti, snuck up on him like a librarian, that one. That was... Can't believe they didn't hear Charlie Dixon of all people coming from behind. But back in the middle, Marshall wins the ruck down. He's won it most of the night. Steele gets taken, almost dropped it. Horn Francis over the top to Finlayson. Port Adelaide are running all over them at the moment. McEntee gets it smothered nicely from Stocker. Gets a higher one. He'll get the free kick. So Stocker gets the free kick. A little bit unlucky there, Connor Rosie, because he couldn't do much about it, but Stocker put his head over the ball. Umpire usually gives him the benefit of the doubt. Goes long down the wing. Marshall goes up, can't take the mark. Butters, good tackle there from Marshall. They'll be holding the ball. Always puts on a lot of defensive pressure, Rowan Marshall. He's a great ruckman. Goes into the middle of the ground. Stocker takes the mark. A little bit dangerous, but he took it nicely. So St Kilda look like they're just going to settle it down a little bit here. And they probably should. Goes back towards the wing. Great kick and finds Burns. So now Burns immediately wheels onto his right. Kicks it to the top of the 50. Great kick to Butler. Good spoil there from Burgoyne. Only as far as Clark. He gives that the handball back to Burns. He just thumps it back inside the forward 50. Up goes Higgins all on his own. Dropped a sitter. Gets onto it in the end. But handballs it backwards. Couldn't take the ball there. It was Filippo. Then a turnover here from Burgoyne. Back to Steele. Steps around him. Snaps towards goal. Jack Steele. He just misses. Big chance for the Saints to settle the nerves. Captain should have kicked that. He just missed it. Jack Higgins, though, dropped an absolute sitter. Fell straight into the hand, straight into an easy chest mark, and he dropped it. So now Burton from the back square kicks it into Williams. Set a few touches in this game, the young man Dylan Williams. Goes long down the wing up to Lord. Does nicely to bring it to ground. Up goes Dougal Howard. Does nicely. Gets the handball away, but Patton gets tackled nicely here from Rioli. And he's not looking the best here, Patton. He's actually grabbed for his head. His head, I think, slammed into the ground. He got a bit lucky there, Rioli, not to get a free kick paid against him. We've seen a lot of them paid this season. So now Marshall in the ruck, kicks it away, kicks it towards the wing, does get to Membry, wheels around on the right boot, kicks it towards the forward 50 now. Higgins in a one-on-one, pushed Illyria out of it, and he'll get the free kick. That's a free kick. So Illyria will get the free kick in the back 50. He's definitely got a little bit more of that All-Australian form from 2021. Lost a lot of it last year. Was definitely hampered by injury last season as well, Illyria, but he's definitely got a lot of that form back. He's played quite nicely. So he goes in short and finds McKenzie, who drives it long, down towards centre wing. Up goes Lord. He just didn't time that very well. Wilkie gives out the handball. Again, another turnover from Wilkie. He's been a bit off tonight. Now Rioli runs through. Rosie gets tackled almost without it. Patton, good tackle on Rioli gets tackled well by Hunter Clark. Now Rosie snaps over the top of his shoulder, goes towards about 70 metres out, but Wilkie runs back nicely, takes the mark. So St Kilda now looking to switch it. Stocker goes in short, finds Wanganeen Malira. He's done very well tonight. Goes into the middle of the ground. It's a dangerous kick. Brad Hill's got to work for it. Didn't take the mark. Works back onto it though. Butters wanted it more. Does well. Gives out the handball to Ollie Wines. He threw that away. Almost given pinned. Now Burton handballs it away. Good pressure there from Filippo. Now Marshall on the ground gets tackled. Somehow gets the handball away. Butler over to Stocker. Patton. And now St Kilda work it through hands to Wanganeen Malira. Now St Kilda are on the move. They have it back. Brad Hill feints the handball to Crouch. Eventually gives it to him. Not the best handball. Had to make him wait for it. Goes in short towards the pocket. And Membry can't get there. Rolls out of bounds. 5.5 minutes to go in this second term. St Kilda down by 5. Port Adelaide have had the momentum a lot of this second quarter. But St Kilda have wrenched it back a little bit in the last few minutes. Just outside forward 50. Throws it in now. In the ruck, Teakle knocks it down only as far as Crouch. Gets tackled well by Horn Francis. Worries him out of it. Now Boak breaks through the stoppage. Kicks it out wide. Up goes Stocker and Butters. Butters did very nicely. Lord comes through. Does nicely. Now Butters kicks it rolling down the wing. Dixon will get there first. Just barges through a couple of players. Gives out the handball. Now it's a Boak. Boak kicks it to the top of the 50. Rioli's got his teammate turned inside out. Snaps towards the top of the goal square here, Rioli. Will he get the right bounce? He won't. And rolls it through for a behind. Port Adelaide back to that 6-point lead. So Port Adelaide lead by 1 straight goal at the moment. Goes in short and he finds Dougal Howard. Dougal Howard, or as you know, it was a pretty good kick. I don't know why I was a little bit worried. Dougal always puts a little bit of worries into teams. But Crouch, nice kick. Finds Sebros in his own in the middle. Breaks past Houston. Goes to the top of the 50 to Membry, but great spoil coming across there, Rosie. Membry worked hard to get back onto it. Filippo to Marshall. Can he kick St Kilda back to level? Goes towards goal, and he's kicked it to the left. St Kilda have had a couple of opportunities to bring the game back on their terms. They've just wasted the shots towards goal. Another behind. So Burton goes long with the kick, finds Houston. Immediately goes to about 70 metres out. Out goes Dixon over the top of Howard. Does nicely, takes the mark. Immediately to Burn-Jones. And he kicks it short, finds Travis Boak inside the forward 50. And Travis Boak to give Port Adelaide an 11-point lead with only 4 minutes to go in this second term. This is a big opportunity here for Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide look like a new team in the second term. In the first quarter and probably in the first few minutes of this second term, they looked like they were just going to let this game go away, but they've just caught back nicely and have taken the lead. And now the former captain of this side, Travis Boak, to kick one to bring him to an 11-point lead. Kicks towards goal, feigns towards the left. He's never been a good set shot kick, Travis Boak, and he's missed. Actually, I wouldn't say never, but he's definitely in the past few seasons been woeful in front of goal. So that's another behind. So back to that 6-point lead, Port Adelaide. Wanganeen Malira out the back. Goes long with the kick. Crouch on the ground, can't pick it up. Sinclair rolls on the ball. Almost would have been pinned if he didn't get rid of it, but does. Only as far as Houston. Now Ollie Wines breaks past the tackle. Kicks it towards the top of the 50. Sorry, kicks it towards the 50-metre line. And now Pau Pepper. Very tough angle on the left-hand side of the goals. I don't know about Pau Pepper snapping it from here. He's going to have to snap it about 50 metres. This is going to have to be a massive kick. I'm going to go to the fucking bathroom. Damn it. If this goes through for a goal, can't Pau Pepper kick the goal for me so I'll go to the fucking bathroom. Ah, he's missed. Damn it. Jesus Christ. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Keep everyone entertained. Fuck. Oh. It's been the score. No, it hasn't. St Kilda have the football, and Wanganeen Malera has limped off the field. I don't know what happened there, but now back in the ruck on the wing. Rowan Marshall knocks it down only as far as Ross. Now Teagle grabs the football off the ground, handballs it out wide only as far as Crouch. Now St Kilda work with the football down the wing. Steele gives in the handball to Filippo. Now Hill has the football, kicks towards the top of the 50. Great kick and finds Jack Higgins in the pocket. Just on top of the 50, just on the 50 line here. Jack Higgins is fine. I don't know what he's doing. He didn't even get hit in the head. What is he doing? That's fucking pathetic. Whatever. Did he even get hit in the head? No, he did. All right, I'll give him that. All right, whatever. But Jack Higgins have the ball about 50 meters out from goal. It's going to be a long kick from here. He's tight, right up against the boundary. Kicks towards goal. It will land just outside the goal square. Teagle comes across, missed the ball completely. Now Aaliyah works hard. They're scrambling between players at the moment. Jace Burgoyne knocks it out. Teagle does nicely give the handball to Burton. Now gets the ball. Kicks it long. Does well, actually. So it'll be a stoppage just inside the forward 50 here for the Saints. So Wanganeen Malera is grabbing at his hamstring right now. It may be cramp. I don't know. He doesn't look too concerned. He's kind of grabbing towards it. So Marshall on the ruck taps it down to Steele. He couldn't get onto it. Taps it out towards Burns. Burns fumbles it though. Higgins grabs it. Feints for the high one. Doesn't get the free kick. Jack Higgins is playing for a lot of free kicks in this second quarter, and it's pretty pathetic. He shrugged that free kick high, fair enough. But then Butters just touches him from behind. He plays for the push in the back. It's pathetic football in my opinion. Marshall takes it out of the ruck through it. Umpire calls play on. Now Dan Houston gets tackled nicely by Marshall and Steele. It'll be another stoppage inside the forward 50 here for the Saints. 19 seconds to go. St Kilda definitely put a lot of pressure on Port Adelaide now. Port Adelaide would do very well here to keep this 7-point lead. So back in the ruck again. Teagle knocks it down. Houston gets the ball, kicks it away. Great kick in the end. Rioli should have marked it. Just thumps it forward with a nice little fist. Umpire gets in the way of the Port player. Now battle. Breaks past its opponent. Kicks towards the top of the square. Players are everywhere. Spoils at Burton. Not as very far. Now Mackenzie and Port Adelaide have saw off the danger. Bergman has the football. And it'll be half-time. Port Adelaide take a 7-point lead going into half-time. Absolutely blistering second term by Port Adelaide. Done very nicely there, Port Adelaide. So I'll just bring up the statistics now, guys. Oh, wrong one. Okay. So, at half time, the statistics are leading disposal getter on the ground is Jack Sinclair with the 19. He's had a brilliant game so far. Wanganeen Malera with the 16 touches. He did come off late in that second term, though, with a suspected hamstring injury, so we'll see how that is at half-time. Seb Ross with the 15, Ollie Wines and Jack Steele ran out the top 5 with the 14. And then for the AFL fantasy watchers out there, the top 5, we start with Rowan Marshall with the 84, Wanganeen Malera with the 79, Jack Steele with the 67, Dan Houston with the 65, and rounding out the top 5 is Jack Steele with the 63. Alright guys, I think we'll be back at half time. Yeah, we'll be back at half time, I think. Yeah. G'day guys, welcome back to the Boundary Riders podcast, episode 7 now. We just went through Gather Round, which was round 5. Absolutely wonderful week in my opinion. I think it went pretty well. Today we actually will be kind of reviewing Gather Round, but here in South Australia I think it went off without too much of a hitch, to be honest. I think it was basically everything all South Australians were asking for, and yeah, we've also got here Jack or Jackpot Junkies over on Instagram. So
yeah,
what did you think of Gather Round?
Yeah, I think it was a great concept. It was nailed pretty well by the South Australian government, and pretty good results in the end for most of the games. And obviously now we've got it until 2026, so pretty happy about that as well.
Yeah, so I think they announced it at the before the Collingwood St Kilda game, and practically 99% of the crowd were pretty excited about it. There were a few boos that I heard from a couple of supporters around, but I think that was just from Victorians who were having a whinge. No, I think it went very well. So, yeah, I think we'll just sort of review how it went. So, basically, now that we've got it for the next 3 years, I think it's going to go even better.
Yeah.
In the next few years. There were a couple of things that I was a little bit disappointed about. One of them in particular, I think the entertainment that they had for the main acts of the entertainment, they had Peking Duck on Thursday night, and on Saturday night they had the Veronicas. I think the Veronicas was very good. I would almost give them a 10 out of 10. They went out on the... I don't know if it was televised on television when the games came out.
I think it was for a bit.
Oh, was it? Okay.
On it.
But basically, if you were there, it was pissing down rain on Saturday night, and they had a stand to stand on. What was it? Like a stage to stand on, and they had to pull that away because it was so wet they couldn't stand on it. I think it would have been they could have tripped over, so they had to do it on the grass. And those two came out and sung their songs, and they were very good. And I really liked the part when I don't know their names exactly, but one of them said, "Now everyone please stand for the national anthem," and they just sung their main song that the Veronicas sing. So I would have given them a 10 out of 10. Peking Duck, I think were pretty good. The first couple of songs they sang, I didn't really hear a lot of it. I don't know if that was the audio around the ground or if it was them.
I think it was more because they had fireworks and all that. You couldn't really hear over all the...
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of the first game, I think they were just trying to work out the kinks, because if you're at the game, you would have noticed a lot. If you looked at the scoreboard, you couldn't actually see the time on the scoreboard, and you couldn't see much of the scores to begin with because the scoreboard was so low on the big screens. You couldn't see it. But they did work it out throughout the week. The one problem I had with it was, if you're at the games, you would know, they had the hype crew, and my God, that needs to be gone for next year. That was a 0 out of 10 for entertainment. They had these 6 dances or whatever, and look, they may have been pretty talented, but it was just so annoying that they started yelling out, "It's the hype crew," and then they'd have 6 people standing there dancing to the songs. It's like, I would rather you sit there, play the songs over the loudspeakers while waiting for the game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's just pre-game entertainment that they have at grounds in general is always a bit shit, but every single time they came out on the ground, the crowd basically went into a lull. They were like, ugh, they're out here again. And they were out there all day, so I get the AFL had to do something for it, but I felt like it was just a bit crappy, I thought that was pretty lackluster entertainment. But the games, I think, went off really, really well. The games at Adelaide Oval, which were the ones we went to, all of them had hype around it. The crowd was absolutely amazing. Nothing that you'd never really experience it again, or you wouldn't experience it anywhere else. Sorry, because you had different teams. Everyone was wearing their colours. Like, there's different teams. Like, even when you went to, like, a Sunday game for the West Coast and Geelong, you saw people wearing Sydney gear, you saw people wearing Essendon gear, Port Adelaide. You would never see that happen again. And I don't think it would happen in any other state, how well it went off. What else was there? The games that, outside of Adelaide Oval, the 2 games at Norwood they were brilliant games. They went to the last minutes, really. The Fremantle game and GWS. The game at Adelaide Hills, it was a bit of a lackluster one because Brisbane just dominated, but the ground looked very nice. There was the one game on Saturday where it wasn't pissing down rain. But yeah, I think the entertainment that they had outside of the ground sounded like it went pretty well. We didn't really see much of it.
No, we were more interested in the actual football, but
there were a lot of stuff.
I can get the gimmicks that people would love to see.
Yeah, I think that honestly, if we had to round it all out, I think if anyone who was watching this was thinking they wanted to come to South Australia next year, now that it's South Australia, also, like, this gather round was only planned for 5 months ago.
Yeah.
So the way that the South Australian government, how South Australia got together and made it such a spectacle in 5 months, it's just amazing what they could do in a whole year. I think they could get big acts to come for every single night.
Yeah.
At Adelaide Oval. I'm surprised they didn't. I know they only did it for the South Australian teams, but Friday night, when the Swans and Richmond played, there was a bit of a lull before the game started, and when the game did start, obviously, that brought a lot of hype towards it. But yeah, I feel like they could have done some acts on those 2 nights as well, so they could obviously get some really good Australian acts for those sort of rounds.
Yeah.
And yeah, if anyone is thinking of coming together around next year, and they saw it on television and thought it was a pretty good idea, but wanted to wonder, I don't know, how South Australians thought it was, I thought it was absolutely amazing. I would have given it probably a 9 out of 10. Like, considering it took so long, like, it was such a short notice. South Australia really got around it. And Kilda and Collingwood. Collingwood always gets a big crowd no matter where they are, and it was just a great atmosphere for every single game. So, yeah, I would have given it probably a 9 out of 10. Some of the entertainment stuff I wasn't too impressed by. The hype crew, that was just terrible. That's just, I don't know if that's just pre-game stuff in every ground. Like, I've been to a few games, we've been to a few games in Victoria, and it's always a bit meh. At Adelaide Oval, sometimes the pre-game entertainment's a bit freaking terrible. So, yeah, that was a bit trash, but the hype crew especially. But the big acts of Peking Duck, I thought they were pretty good, and the Veronicas, I think, were absolutely, like, they were insane, really. Considering they went out there in the pissing down rain, sat there and sang their songs, or, I don't know, well, sang their songs and did a brilliant job, and the whole crowd was standing there, like, singing on with the songs in pissing down rain. I mean, I don't think you get that many in many other places.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'd give it about a 9 out of 10 as well. Like, you got to think, like, we had people around us that were Carlton supporters from Perth. You had people from everywhere come to the one state. It was nailed pretty well. Like,
yeah, I mean,
the entertainment was a bit, you can say, people may have liked the hype crews and stuff. It was more, yeah, that was more for the...
Yeah, I don't even know who would like it, to be honest. I think you're being a bit generous. I think they were fucking dreadful. But anyway, yeah. So overall, I'd probably give it like a 9 out of 10. And I think next year it's just going to get better and better.
Yeah.
I think if you are planning to come over, I'd say definitely get on it, get on the ticket straight away. Because I think this year it took a bit of time to sell out the tickets. Now that we've seen a whole year of how well South Australia can do with it, I think it's going to sell out pretty quickly. And honestly, I think I know it's something you won't see, like, happen. Like, you'll never see a bunch of people who not only, like, were, supporting different teams, but they were all so happy to be there. There was I didn't see any sort of like fighting or any sort of stuff. I know there's some people, South Australia has a reputation for having like feral crowds. I didn't get that one bit. I thought from the Port game to the Richmond game to Collingwood, everyone was there celebrating for their team, and they were just happy to be there, happy to sit there and watch footy and be there for every single game. And plus, it was so like inexpensive. It was like $70 to get 6 games worth of tickets at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah.
So if you got the money to get flights over to South Australia, I'd say 100% do it. I think next year is going to be bigger and better. And South Australia does also have the reputation as like a pretty boring state, but I think we knocked it out of the park this weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone's willing to come to South Australia, I'd say 100% go. It was a great day it was a great weekend, and I think it's just going to get bigger and better. So yeah, I'd say 100% get on it, guys. But yeah, obviously with the games this week, I think we had a lot of games got quite close, maybe into the last quarter. Then a lot of games blew out a bit, but obviously the first game was the one that was like built up the most. Was Adelaide versus Carlton. Carlton were undefeated going into it. The Crows were in good form. Yeah. And after the Crows just blitzed them in the first quarter.
Oh, like I said, that they have one of the most potent forward lines, but I'm not going to deny that because I tipped it as well. But yeah. I'm not going to deny it.
Well, I thought Carlton may have broken the duck they've had at Adelaide Oval, but sadly they didn't show up in the first quarter.
They never got off the plane.
They never got off the plane at Adelaide Oval, and that really cost them in the end. I mean, they stayed around that 20 to 30 point mark for a majority of the game after that first quarter blitz from the Crows, and eventually the Crows just ran away with it late.
Yeah, they broke them in the first quarter, and they stayed around, and then it was
that was basically gone.
It was gone.
Yeah, so the 3 votes, I gave 3 votes to Jordan Dawson. I think he was best on ground. I think he's definitely found his spot in the midfield now for the Crows. I never really saw him looking like he could be a midfielder, but he does have the body type for it, and the good thing for him as well is the fact that yes, he'll be able to get clearances with his big body, but when he does get the ball and he has a little bit of time to use it, you know he's going to hit his target inside 50. So I think, even though I'm a little bit annoyed that Sydney lost him, I think they should have done a lot more to keep him, but nonetheless, I think the Crows have definitely got a good choice there. 2 votes I had to give to Rory Laird. I thought he had a really good game as well. He's been up and down so far this season, but he definitely shone on Thursday night. And the 1 vote I gave to Darcy Fogarty. I think he kicked 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah,
he dominated against Carlton. And Mitch McGovern was a late withdrawal in this game, and I think this is they definitely took advantage of this because
Plowman shouldn't even be in that team. He's that like he can't defend, he can't kick, he can't do anything.
Yeah, he definitely wasted a lot of opportunities in that
game. They just dominated out of the midfield. It was just pretty much tap from De Koning, and it would just go to the Crows, Dawson, Laird in the forward line.
Yeah,
about 4 or 5 times without even Carlton touching him. It was kind of bad in that first quarter.
Yeah, and to be honest, probably their best midfielder for Carlton, which is a bit disappointing, was Sam Walsh. His first game back, and he was probably their best midfielder.
Yeah, and that's saying something. He was one of their best players.
Yeah, so it was very disappointing, I think, for a lot of Carlton fans as well. Like, we were sitting next to a couple, and they were enjoying the game as well, but they're very disappointed to see how Carlton didn't show up. So I was pretty disappointed to see that as well. But after that, we got to Fremantle versus Gold Coast. This is the first game at Norwood Oval, and this one turned out to be quite a bit of a spectacle towards the end of it. The Gold Coast had a lead for the majority of this game, but Fremantle caught back, and I mean they kicked 100 points, which I don't think many people would have expected. By no means do I think Fremantle back, but they did well, and they caught back in the second half to get their second win of the season. And I mean, being 2-2 at the moment, it doesn't look like it's in a terrible spot. I think there's definitely a good 12 to 13 teams now who could definitely make finals.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about that after our tips. We'll talk about because I mean we're through a quarter through the season now, so I think we can kind of make a little bit of predictions about the season so far. But yeah, so with the 3 votes, I gave the 3 votes to Caleb Sarong. He looks like he's definitely launched out of this season. They definitely did need someone to stand up because Andy McGrath looked like he was being the lone hand last year. But Caleb Sarong looks like he stood up this year, so I gave him the 3 votes. 2 votes I gave to Michael Walters. I think he stood up a couple of weeks this season. 2 of the 4 weeks this season, he's actually played really good footy. So if he can find his form and kick some goals, I think Fremantle do have a chance of making finals, but they have got to start finding goals from other places. And the one vote I gave to Noah Anderson, he was definitely by far the Gold Coast best player. And he wasn't by far. I think David Swallow had a pretty good game. He kicked 3 goals. But I think Noah Anderson needs to have some more players going with him. Took Miller's probably started quite poor, not poorly, but he's definitely been middle of the range this season. I think he just needs to lift a little bit, and he needs a lot of people to come with him because Stuart Dew's job, I think it was one of the journalists, Damien Barrett or something, said this week that the next month will decide if he keeps his job.
I don't think he does, sadly, but they don't have any depth in the midfield. Once the rotations go through without Rao, Miller, and Noah Anderson, they don't have anyone. Like Flanders was doing it during the preseason. I have not seen him do it once this season in the actual home and away season to go in midfield. He hasn't done it once. It doesn't look like it. And
Jack Lukosius looks like he may be coming on, but again, he needs to be. I think he still needs to be a high forward wingman. I think that's his role, but it's just I don't think he gets enough of the ball to really.
He needs to be lethal. He's lethal with the 10 to 15 that he gets, but he needs to get 15. He needs to get closer to 20 for Gold Coast to go to that next level of finals.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people were expecting them to maybe make finals this year or at least be very close. And currently they're 17th on the ladder, and only being beaten by a VFL, only being held up from 18th by a team who's basically rolling out a VFL team every week in Hawthorn. So I think Stuart Dew, they won't give it that. He'll probably keep his job till mid-year at the very least, because the AFL coaches don't usually get sacked like maybe an English soccer coach can get fired in 6 weeks.
2 weeks, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that Stuart Dew will get. Testing. Yep, we were good. All right, cool. So we're back from half time, guys. Oh, you're at halftime. Sorry, yeah, I put the podcast on at halftime because usually there's not many. If there's no one watching, then I usually just put it on so I can go make a coffee and whatever. You thought that was live? Oh, no. I've just put it on. That's my podcast for every week. I just put it on podcast because so it's also a good thing to get people to check it out or whatever. So just setting up now for the third quarter. They're all setting up, getting into their positions. Do you do AFL fantasy, man, or you don't bother with that sort of stuff? So Port Adelaide lead by 7 points going into the third quarter, which starts right now. So umpire thumps it down, but Butters will get the first clearance. Nice kick, finds McEntee on the lead, just outside 50 here. Could be in trouble here, Wanganeen Malera, who has came back on, by the way. Thoughts on a Tassie team. Long kick goes inside the 450. Sorry, just give me a second. It rolls towards the goal square. Battle comes through and runs it through for a rush behind. I'm actually going to talk about it with my brother on the podcast this week, but basically, I think I think that Tasmania should have a team, but I don't know why they're building a whole new stadium for a team that I don't think could fill a whole stadium. I'm sorry. I don't think they could fill a stadium that's 30, 40 plus regularly, on a regular basis. South Australia can, because one, they've got the supporter base. They've got the population of South Australia is quite big, and it's a 50,000 crowd capacity. Both their teams are set as well, so that's why that was a good idea to redevelop. They redeveloped the stadium. That's why I think it was a good idea. Tasmania, I think they should be redeveloping one of the two stadiums they have in Bellerive and Launceston. Aurora. What is it now? University of Tasmania Stadium, whatever. Aurora Stadium, and the other one, the cricket one. I can't even remember their names. I think they should. I'd like to see a Tasmanian team in the AFL. I think they deserve one. But can they sustain it? I'm not too sure. Because the thing is as well, which I saw about a statistic, they could fill 30k, not 50. Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, though, a lot of the supporters now down in Tassie, I would like to think that they would move over to the Tasmanian team, but the thing is, would they 100%? I don't know. Like, if let's say for me, for example, I'm a huge Sydney Swans fan. If I lived in Tasmania, for example, I don't think I would move over to the Tasmanian team. Don't get me wrong, I think I would like to have them as like my second team, but am I going to every single game? Probably not. So I don't know how that would be. Also, as well, it's going to be hard for them to... I don't know how easy it's going to be to keep, like, interstate players, like, in Tasmania. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to do that because I think there was shown there was, like, only 20... Currently in the AFL, there's only 24 players from Tasmania, which isn't many. Like, that doesn't even fill out a whole roster of a list. So, I would be very interested to... I hope they do get it, and I hope that they, like, develop a whole team and they become like a really good club down there. But I think they've got to set it up properly. I mean, it's got a population of like 500,000. How many people live in Tasmania? I don't know. Is it like 500,000 or? I don't know. So I'll have to have a look. Hang on. How much is it? What's the population of Tassie? By the way, St Kilda got it inside their forward 50. By the way, Tasmania. Can't even spell. Mania population 2023. There it is. 573,000. This is what I was thinking about and what I'll talk about on the podcast this week. Western Sydney population. In Western Sydney, there's 936,000 people just in Western Sydney. Like, that's why I think, like, I don't think that, I don't know. I would personally, I don't know. I would personally think about, like, yeah, I don't know. Launceston, pretty small, but Hobart is like a mini Melbourne. It's pretty populated. Okay. Oh, you've been to Hobart? Okay. The thing is that would help out in their favour, which I don't really like them comparing them to the Gold Coast, because, not on the player part, on the, like, popularity part from the locals, is because the Gold Coast, one, is a, tourist sort of area, so there's not that many locals in the Gold Coast. Like, let's be real. I don't even know why they even have a sports teams in Gold Coast, to be honest, because it's not a sporting area. But Tasmania does have a lot of... It is a football state. If you're comparing it between rugby and football, it is a football state. And that's why I think they could populate a good amount of... That's why I don't think they should be comparing them to the Gold Coast Suns. Because the Gold Coast, one, it's a tourist state, a tourist part of the state. And plus, like, Queensland is a rugby state. So, I don't think they are fit enough for two teams, to be honest. I think they should... I'm not saying they should get rid of the Gold Coast, but, I mean, it would make a lot more sense instead of having when they brought in the teams, 10 years ago, instead of bringing in a second Queensland team, they should have either thought about a team from Tasmania or maybe even Northern Territory, but I don't know how it would work. I don't know about a team from Northern Territory either. I just don't know if they have the... I mean, they do relatively fill the games when they play up at TIO Stadium up in Northern Territory, but are they going to fill a game every week? I'm not too sure. Is way better stadium. I don't know. What do you feel about... Because the thing is, they're saying the estimating cost of the new stadium they're going to build down in Hobart is $750 million. I don't think they're going to be able to... I think it's going to cost at least double, because what they want, all the early predictions, is they want to build a stadium with a roof, which it makes a lot of sense because obviously Hobart is very wintry for a lot of the year and will rain quite a lot. So, especially for things like cricket as well, if they want to have the Hobart Hurricanes play there, it would make a lot of sense to have a roof on the fucking stadium. But I looked as well. The giant stadium that has a capacity of, I think, 30,000 people, that cost $1.5 billion. And that's with no roof. For Tasmania to say, for the government to say they're giving them like 750 million. I think that's way unders. They're going to have to pay way more money here, Tasmania, to make its stadium with a roof. By the way, Pepper has a shot in the forward pocket, and he snapped it. Got a goal. Nice, Port Adelaide. They get their second goal of the third term, their first goal of the third term. Sorry, I should be commentating, but I'm interested. I'm interested about a Hobart team. I 100% want them to have a new team because I think the Hobart deserve one. Tasmania deserve one. I think that I think they have an NBL team, but they don't have many like teams like in Australian like sports leagues, and I think they deserve some because I think that Tasmania it's a part of Australia. They deserve to have sports teams in the Australian leagues. But remember, they've got to have like the support. They've got to have it 100% ready before they like just give them a team. They don't want it to be like the Gold Coast Suns. I'm not comparing them like on. I'm comparing the fact of like they cannot have it like the Gold Coast where they hardly got it ready. They hardly had the Gold Coast club ready to go. And they were, their training facilities for the first couple of years were like out of like those transport pods or whatever you call them. So if they have it 100% ready and they get the Tasmanian team up and going, I think 100% it can be successful. I'm not going to be like a lot of people in like the Victorian media are saying that it can't work down in Tassie. I think that's bullshit. 100% they could get a team working in Tasmania, but they need to get it 100% ready to go and then get the team going. Because I think I think they can make it like a fortress down there. Because playing in Tasmania is not an easy feat. We've seen like Hawthorn nearly beat the Crows down there last week because Hawthorn have some sort of experience down there. If you're playing down there every 2 weeks, I think they can make it a fortress in a few years of their like gaming, like their establishment. It makes sense, the Hobart, because it's way bigger than Launceston, a distant first. If I was to live anywhere as a player, I would choose Hobart because that's closest to Melbourne. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think as well, I'll be interested to see if the team's going to be like the Tasmanian, if it's going to be called like Tasmania, or if it's going to be called like the Hobart something, or if it's going to be... I think it would make sense to name it after a city, but I don't know, it'll be interesting. I think they could call it the whole entire state, because I mean, they can't have 2 clubs in Tasmania. I think that's ridiculous. It's not big enough to have 2 full clubs in the state, but yeah. But bottom line, I want to see a Tasmanian team, but they have to get it right. They can't just half-ass it. So, sorry, there's still 7 minutes gone in this first quarter. Swans fan plays Roblox. How you doing, man? I'm a Swans fan too, so what are you up to today, man? Hoping that we win this week, because fucking oath I do. So, in the forward pocket for St Kilda right now, Travis Boak gets taken over the line to be a boundary throw-in. Oh, yeah. AFL fantasy score looking good for Rowan Marshall at the moment. Anyway, back in the ruck inside the forward 50 here for St Kilda. Tickle knocks it down, only down as far as Rosie. Now Butters gets the football, just handballs it away. So no real plan with it. Gresham gets taken down by Butters now. So just outside 50, Boat gets in there, does nicely to get the handball out to Houston. Now Rosie, getting held without it, should get the free kick. And a roll out of bounds here, just outside the forward 50. You tipped St Kilda by 2 points. That's fair enough. I tipped them by 10. But my brother's a Port fan, so I wouldn't mind seeing Port win here. But, we'll see what happens. Hill should have got it free. I haven't really been watching the last few minutes. I've been talking to Captain LF in the chat. So, I haven't been paying a lot of attention. I probably missed that one. So, back in the ruck now. Tickle gets the football, knocks it down to Wines, who just kicks it up in the air. A lot higher than he actually kicked it further. Butler goes up, does nicely to bring it to ground. Hunter Clark gives it off to Owens, who gets tackled. So now St Kilda have the football. Patton back to Stocker. Stocker kicks it towards the top of the 50 now. Gresham in a one-on-one with Burgoyne. Gresham misses the ball, drags it in. Burgoyne tackles him nicely. Gets out the handball. Filippo gives it out. Now Hill kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Up goes Membry. Almost uncontested. Drops the mark. He will get the free kick though, Membry. So free kick will go to, is it Membry or Mason Wood? It's Mason Wood who gets the free kick. I'm fast forward, then you, you're faster than me because you're on KO. Oh, I'm on KO too. I'm watching it in the background. Am I on live? Yeah, I'm on live. My friend said, what's I say? My friend said the dumbest idea, Hobart and Launceston. No way Launceston will get fans. You'd only have Hobart. 88,000 has 250. Feels like a city. Launceston feels like a town. Yeah, I think it would have to be Hobart. I don't think it could be Launceston. I mean, I think they could play games in Launceston like they do with like GWS. They play at Manuka Oval every now and then. So St Kilda get the goal back to 2 points to difference. Great finish there from Mason Wood. Career best form this season, Mason Wood. I think he's had a brilliant year. Swans by 32. Now that Swans have got Tom McCartan back, I think they're a better chance of winning this game. The last few weeks, I don't know what Sydney were thinking playing Callum Mills at fullback. That was stupid. I don't know what they were thinking. I know we didn't have that many players, but play Francis back in the forward, play it back. He's played defender in his career, and they moved him back late. Like, play him at fullback in the first part of the game, and if it doesn't work, then change it. Don't play your best. I think arguably Sydney's best midfielder in the fullback. That was stupid. Brisbane. Oh yeah, they'll flog Freo. So they're back in the ruck now. Cordy knocks it down. Clark tries to get onto it. Francis tackles Crouch in the back. Umpire doesn't call it. Finlayson breaks past the team opponent. Does nicely. Now, Horn Francis goes inside the forward 50, kicks it towards the pocket to really no one in particular. Now, Battle runs towards it, just taps it away, not to anyone either. Now, Burn Jones handballs it off to Pal Pepper, kicks it towards Bonner, who finds himself all on his own inside the forward pocket. And now Port Adelaide to send it back to an 8-point lead. For some reason, Bonner just easily cruised inside the forward 50 and found himself all on his own. Great play there from Pal Pepper. Bulldogs by 35 over Hawthorn. Yeah, I think that's probably about fair. Crows by 3 over Collingwood. I think Collingwood can win that game, but I think it'll be a tough one. The stadium right in the CBD, good because it's really populated in CBD and it will create jobs. Yeah, that would be a good idea too. So Bonner comes in, 30 metres out, hits the post. Poor kick there from Riley Bonner. Port kind of needed that one too, because St Kilda definitely came out in the second half with a little bit of fire in the belly. Yeah, like I said, I think that they just have to get it right. They need to put it in the right position. They need to do everything to get that tip. To get a Tasmanian team in the right location and everything. And I think 100% they can get it to work. So Rosie kicks it inside the 450, 1-on-1 with Dixon and Howard. Goes to ground. On the ground now, Dixon just goes for the play, not the ball. Stocker kicks it out of there. Puts his hand up there. I think it was Sinclair to try and get the ball. Couldn't do it. Steele tackles well on Rosie with a ball up. I tipped the Crows for an upset. Yeah, my brother did the same, actually. At Adelaide Oval, the Crows have every chance. I still think Collingwood is definitely a chance, though. They played well at Adelaide Oval against St Kilda, so I don't know. I think they've also had recent form of Collingwood, so I give them a chance. I'm giving them, because they played very well this season. I give them every chance. The Crows only get 3 points by Rankin. You think, yeah, Isaac Rankin's played brilliantly this season for the Crows. So St Kilda working on the outer side, kicks it into the middle of the ground to Marshall. He does take the mark, does nicely in the end, actually, Rowan Marshall. Quickly gives off the handball back to Wilkie. Has been a little bit shaky tonight, Callum Wilkie, but has a lot of space now to work into. Kicks it towards the top of the goal square now. Butler gets back there. Up goes Rosie. Doesn't get a touch onto it. And Butler takes the mark. I think that may have been touched, but Butler takes the mark in the end, and it'll be a shot on goal about 15 metres out, straight in front, basically. My heart wants Collingwood to by 14. I thought you were a Swan supporter, man. What are you backing for Collingwood? What do you want Collingwood to win? Can't wait for AFL 23. Yeah, I think I've made my thoughts about it. I'll put it on my channel. I think it will be a good game. It will definitely be the best AFL game. My problem is just I don't know if I don't know about the. Oh my god, he just got it. Jesus Christ! Butler kicks the goal. My problem is it's quite expensive for a game. I don't know. I always compare it to like the other sports games around the world. I know it's like you shouldn't, but I do. And my thing is, it costs $79 like from JB Hi-Fi, which I think is the cheapest that I've found it. I think that if you're paying $79 for a game, they're my third favourite team. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I think when you're paying $79 for a sports game, I think it's pretty close to FIFA. Like, how much is FIFA? I know it'll be a bit different now, but how much is FIFA 23? That's not how you spell it. Couldn't you just tell me? Like, fucking hell. It costs $39. Oh, it's because it's nearly... It's the life cycle's nearly up, isn't it? Surely it comes out pretty soon. I don't know how much it is regularly. I just think that $79 for a game is really expensive. Like, especially because the game's going to have microtransactions as well. I don't think it needed to be that much money, but that's just me. Apparently, if Tassie get a team, Nord will be the 20th team with a license. Really? I don't know about that. Would they? They could. I think a third club in South Australia wouldn't be a bad idea. But, yeah, that'd be interesting. I went to Swans and Richmond with my friends. Oh, was that here in Adelaide? Yeah, I did too, man. It was a great game. Sydney played well. I was in the crowd sitting in the rain, bloody watching it. So the top of the goal square, Dixon get his arm held. Rioli snaps towards goal and kicks it. Port Adelaide back in front. Rioli finally gets a goal. He's missed a couple tonight, but he gets one there. You from South Australia as well? Roblox? Swans Roblox? I was there to the worst trip. Yeah, I can imagine, man. I was in the middle. I had the best view. Oh, that's cool, man. I was sitting on, I don't know if you remember, the riverbank stand. So I was on that side of the ground, but on, like, the 50-metre line. We had pretty good seats as well. Great goal there from Rioli, by the way. This is about, how long to go? I can't even see it. So back in the ruck again. Be an extra throw up. Should you collaborate sometime? Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, man. Gets tackled without it there, Butters. Oh, Marshall almost takes him higher. Gets out the handball to Crouch. Crouch gets it out somehow. Marshall runs towards it, couldn't get onto it. Now, Ross gets taken high by Rosie. It'll be a free kick. He goes for Essendon. Who's that? Goes along with the kick. Membry goes up, doesn't take the mark. But he's got the free kick here, Membry. No, Mackenzie takes the mark. I thought maybe they were thinking about a free kick. So 7.5 minutes to go on the third term. Mackenzie has the football, back pocket. Oh, high kick out to Burton. Not the best one, to be honest. I don't know about that kick. That was a weird decision. Goes out of bounds, just outside. Oh, went on the full. Oh, that's even worse. So Burns has the football just outside 50. We'll kick it in now. Long just outside the goal square. Cordy and Membry for the Saints are their other hope. Can't get there. Now on the ground. Cordy can't pick it up. Out to Boak. Boak, terrible handball. Gives it straight to Membry. Out to Sinclair. He gets dragged down by Pal Pepper. Gets out the handball. Crouch. Snaps towards goal. Doesn't bend back enough. Goes to the goal square. Mason Wood goes up. Good score from Williams from behind. Wood has some time. Has some speed. Snaps towards goal. Went out of bounds. Be a throw in. Inside the forward 50 here for the Saints. So umpire throws it in now. Inside the forward 50 here for the Saints. Finlayson does well with the body work. Pushes his opponent under the ball. Now Hunter Clark has the football. Good tackle from behind from Rioli. Gets dragged down. Now Port Adelaide are away. Pal Pepper has Boak. Boak doesn't have too many options, so he just works it out wide to Drew. Drew just gets the handball away. Good pressure there from Burns, so Pal Pepper gets onto it. Getting chased down quickly here from Butler. Does nicely just to get the handball away. Soccer has the football. Gets dragged from behind. The pressure is lifted here at this game. Your dad goes for Port and Carlton. Oh, okay. That's a weird combination, I guess. Oh, yeah. I think it's pretty weird. So ball goes up now. Marshall knocks it down. Gets it down to Burns, but gets straight back to Marshall. And now in the scrap of the contest, Ross gets taken down to be a ball up. My cousin goes for Brisbane. Okay. They're going pretty well at the moment. So back in the ruck now. Marshall knocks it down. Crouch should get onto it. Does nicely, but kicks it away. And it rolls off the side of his left foot and rolls out of bounds. Be able to throw in. So Port lead it by 3 points. Been a big game tonight. St Kilda started off very nicely. Port played brilliantly in the second term, and there's been a bit of a tussle in this third one. So back in the ruck again. Marshall knocks it down. Hill can't get onto it. Phillippo just tries to handball it over his head. Doesn't go too far. Ross can't get onto it. Wines goes in hard, does nicely. Gets the handball out to Rosie. Rosie almost threw that out, but only as far as Burns. Still just throws it on the boot and tumbles it forward. Now Aaliyah doesn't get onto it. Williams does nicely to get the handball out to Bergman. Bergman has some time and kicks it long down the wing on the broadcast side. Powell-Pepper couldn't mark it. Rolls out of bounds. It'll be another throw in. Been quite a few stoppages in the last 5 minutes. Both teams just really can't break free at the moment. It's been goal for goal a lot in this third term. Back in the ruck. Marshall just thumps it forward. Burton overruns it. Now, great play there from Higgins. Not the best handball. It took a little bit too hot for his teammate. Now Burton gets it out to Butters. Butters working in a phone box. Kicks it long. Just goes up in the air. Stocker almost held without it. But it bounces very awkwardly. And Marshall gets onto it. Kicks it long towards the forward 50. It's one-on-one here for St Kilda. Butler does brilliantly to slap it over the top to Membry. Membry goes in short. He gets tackled from behind. Just gets to the kick away. Now Higgins 2-on-1 here for St Kilda. They have the chance. Higgins rolls it towards goal. And Bergman just runs it through for a behind. Do you play console? Yeah, I'll play on a PlayStation. St Kilda has the chance to get the big quarter there. Doing good in their defence. Yeah, they are. I think they're just missing a couple opportunities. I got an Xbox. Yeah, I got a PS5. So Butters gives it back to Burton, and Burton kicks an absolute tumble punt down the wing. And Patton got taken without the football, so it'll be a free kick to St Kilda. Just under 5 minutes to go in this third term. Patton goes in short and finds Stocker. So now Stocker has the football, goes in short to really no one. It just rolls in towards the 50. Hill grabs the ball, gets tackled well by Burgoyne. Nothing really doing. It'll be a ball up, just outside 50. You have a PS5 and a PS4. Fucking hell, man. I had a PS4. I just sold it. So 2 points the difference. Marshall knocks it down. Boat gets taken well. Now Bonner has the football. Fumbles it though at the crucial stage. Steele has the ball now. Gets taken down nicely. Be a ball up. Should play 23 when it comes out. Yeah, man. Definitely. I'll probably play it on stream as soon as it comes out. So up goes the bounce. Can't grab the ball there, Marshall. Boat gets almost taken without it. Crouch has it. Burns out wide. Nice handball. Finds Ross. Great smother from behind there from Butters. Works hard to get onto it. Now Burgoyne fumbles it at the crucial stage. Now Hill puts on a lot of pressure, gets the football, handballs it back to Ross. Does well to get the tap out to Burns. Higgins breaks past one tackle. Can't break through two. Gets taken down. That's holding the ball. Great tackle from behind from Burton and gets the free. Dersman's coming back from his injury and his knee's been strapped up and is in the brace. That does not look good at all there for Port Adelaide or Xavier Dersma. You got an Xbox One and Xbox Series X, Series S. Jesus Christ, dude. And an iPhone 14. Jesus Christ. Can I have one of your parents? I live in a man. Bro, give me your money. So Powell-Pepper has just rolled it towards the forward 50 and it'll be a throw in. Got a bit lucky there. I'm rich. Give me money, dude. So just inside the forward 50 here for Port Adelaide. Just under 4 minutes to go. In the ruck, Marshall again knocks it down. He's been dominant in the ruck all night. Horne-Francis comes through, can't get it out. I'm middle class. I'm poor. Oh, I guess I'm not that poor. I mean, I have to work. So Horne-Francis has been pinned for holding the ball, so it'll be a free kick to the Saints. Crouch has the ball, goes in short. I've gone to 87 football games of the Swans. Jesus Christ, that's alright. I try to go every single time they come to South Australia. So Stocker has the ball now. Had a few touches tonight, Liam Stocker. Not even probably working class. That's a below middle class. Long with the kick. Pretty poor one though. Goes out of bounds on the full. Oh, I don't think that Mason would. Oh, maybe he touched it. Be a ball in. Just on the outer side right now. Not even. Yeah, I don't even know if I go to Blackfriars. Oh, yeah. Okay, you're rich. Yeah, I know where it is. I know Blackfriars. So Tinkle takes it out of the ruck, gets the handball out. Not a poor one, though. Steele gets the ball, immediately turns it over, and now Williams has it. Goes to Horne-Francis. Horne-Francis just dribbles it towards the forward 50. McEntee eventually gets onto it and just kicks it up and towards the air. Up goes Brosey. Should have marked it in the end. Rioli has time. Feints past one. Turns around. Kicks a goal. Willie Rioli. Junior Rioli, sorry. Kicks a beauty for the Port Adelaide. And they take an 8-point lead. Pretty close to three-quarter time. What a finish from Rioli. What a finish. Jason Horne-Francis, 24. Yeah, he's had a good night tonight. You save your consoles. That was a brilliant goal from Rioli. Calm and composed, and he's played well in this game, to be honest. I think he's had a good game. He's had a pretty poor year, I think. But he did well there. What's Horn Francis doing? Yeah, he's had 18 touches, 5 tackles as well. Yeah, he's played well tonight. And he's had 10 clearances. That's brilliant for a young midfielder. So Zane Cordy has been subbed out for the Saints, and Winhager comes into the game. You worked for who? So back in the ruck now, Teakle knocks it down to Horn Francis. Couldn't get it out though, but does work back onto it. Crash does well to worry him out of it. Winhager can't get rid of the handball. Does a good tackle there from Horn Francis. Still trying to get it out of there. Still working in the scramble. Still gets it out to Ross, and now Burns has the football. Kicks it towards the 50. Can't take the mark from behind. I thought it was a pretty good score from Alir, but I guess it was in the back. Mason Wood will take the free kick. Yeah, nearly 24 touches. Yeah, he's definitely... I think he's working into the season. Free kick will go to Mason Wood. He's telling his team to line up. I think they did this a bit last week. It actually worked against Carlton. So Mason Wood just kicks it to the top of the goal square. And Horn Francis gets back nicely, takes the mark. Oh, you work for the console. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Sorry. I just realised that. Yeah, that's fair enough, man. I worked for all my shit. I went to the Eagles and Port game. Oh, last week. Okay. That was a pretty poor game, not going to lie. Well, I mean, it was only the second quarter. Port Adelaide just ran away with it. And then the rest of the game was just a pretty boring game. You're 19. Oh, I'm 20... I'm 25 in a couple of weeks. Mason Wood feigns past the kick, past McEntee, and then drills it inside the forward 50. A lot of this from St Kilda tonight. Owens goes up, can't take the mark. Crouch snaps towards goal and kicks through for a behind. Look young for my age. I don't know. What do I look like to you? Do I look old or young? So Houston gets the ball out from the defensive goal square. Goes in short and finds Burton. Doesn't have too many options. Only a minute to go on this third term. Port Adelaide will be happy to hold a 7-point lead. Goes long with the kick. Good mark from Burn Jones. Immediately plays on. Goes long. Up to a one-on-one. Dixon does well to tap it down. Rioli doesn't have too many options, though. Eventually finds some space. Teakle in the goal. Can't take the mark. Ball from behind from Stocker. Finlayson gets it out. Now Rosie gives it off to Boak. Boak has time. Then gives it back to Rosie. If Rosie can find some space, he can snap a goal. Eventually gives off the handball. Terrible one to Bergman. But Bergman works onto it well. Kicks towards goal. Bergman, he's hooked it. And goes through for a behind. Had a chance there, Bergman. Port Adelaide really had a chance to get a game, I think game high lead for Port Adelaide if he got that. Just missed. Back to an 8-point game. I tipped West Coast by 3 points in an upset because the game was close in the first quarter. Oh, against Geelong. I was at that game against Geelong, yeah. They played okay, West Coast, in the first few minutes of that game, and then the second half. But I think Geelong just put the cue in the rack. They're like, we're not going to bother in the second half against West Coast. Because in the second quarter, they just dominated. So 3-quarter time, guys. Port Adelaide leading by 8 points. Been a pretty good game, this one, to be honest. I didn't really know what to expect for Port Adelaide tonight. But they played brilliant footy from second quarter onwards. And it's a very close game going into the final quarter. Let's bring up statistics for everybody. Ooh, Rowan Marshall's looking good. Got 127 for fantasy. Let's get it. I'm happy with that. I've got him as vice captain, so I'll have him as captain this week. Bring up the statistics now, guys. Oh, there we go. Alright, so 3/4 time, guys. We have the leading disposal getters on the ground. Jack Sinclair leads all comments with the 25. Zach Butters leading for Port Adelaide with the 22. Jack Steele with 21. Ollie Wines with 20, along with Seb Ross. And for the fantasy watchers out there, best scorer at the moment is Rowan Marshall with 127. He's had a brilliant game. Jack Steele with the 99. Jack Sinclair with the 92. Wangani Malira with 90. And the final one of the top 5 and top for Port Adelaide is Jason Horn-Francis with the 77. You look 37, not 21. That's a bit rude. I'm 25. You got 17 games in 2023. Fucking hell. Oh, did you go to all the games in Gather Round? You're only 15. Okay, that's fair enough. I don't look 37. I'm going to ask my partner that. She'll be like, yeah, you probably do. She'll probably just roast me for it. Because you called me that, dude. It's very rude. I'm going to go cry now. Ballroom blitz. 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 Ballroom blitz. I don't know the fucking words. I don't. Oh, that's not the fucking one I wanted. Oh, dickhead. It's the ballroom blitz. Turn this one around. Spin. I don't know, I'm a fucking idiot. What am I doing? This back to there. And then we put Bergman in the team. I don't know, we did that, okay. Faye, Richie, Gotta. Okay, I think I've set up my AFL fan. Sorry, I'm just fucking setting up my team. Anyway. Because your hair is messed up. Not gonna be rude. Because you're a joke. Got him. My hair? What's wrong with my hair? Now you're making me self-conscious. My hair's bloody beautiful, guys. Just don't understand. Beautiful. Tik Tok fuck boy. Imagine him. I don't like bad. I don't really care if people roast me. I think that's funny. You didn't brush it? Don't gotta lie. No, I don't brush it because I'm not a little bitch. Yeah, I'll let my Apple fantasy team like that. That's good enough. Rowan Marshall is my vice, so that's going to be at 140, I hope. Hopefully it doesn't stop. If he stops now, I'm going to be pissed. Or they... Oh, no, he can't be subbed. He's already in the team. You're never going on a date with your dream rich girl that is my mum. I don't really want to date your mum, dude. From what I hear, she's been hit around a few times, if you know what I mean. I don't know why I'm fucking around with a 15-year-old, but anyway. I've already got a lovely partner. She's lovely. But if your mum wants to give me some money, then oh, you're a good man. I know you're just fucking around. I don't care. Your class laughs at you. My class laughs at me when I do jokes and roasts. Oh, that was a nice little rhyme there, dude. I mean, you spelt rhymed wrong, but that's okay. So clearly Blackfriars aren't teaching you much in English class, but anyway. I'm such an arsehole. I'm sorry. So fourth quarter, guys, is about to start right now. St Kilda down by 8 points. Can they catch back in this final quarter against Port Adelaide? Here we go. So umpire bounces it down now in the ruck. Tik almost gets the tap there. Works on the ground, can't get there. Now Butters soccers it away. Windhager works hard, gets the handball away somehow, does nicely. Steal over to Owens and now rolls towards the wing. Burns works onto it nicely. Owens gets the handball back but drops it. Rosie almost threw that out. Somehow Burns-Jones gets onto it and kicks it long towards the 50. Wilkie does nicely just to break past Finlayson. Hasn't had a bigger night tonight, Finlayson. So Patton has the football, goes in short and he finds Burns. Nicely played there from the Saints. I can't spell rhyme, right? It's Rhymed, I think. I'm pretty sure. I went to Lefevre High School, so if you know where that is, you'd know I'd be lucky to spell fucking... I mean, I think I know how to spell like different sort of drugs, but that's about it. I haven't done any drugs, but you got to know them at Lefevre High. So back in the ruck now, Marshall knocks it away. Houston works back onto it, does nice. Kicks it away towards the wing. It bounces on just out on the full, so it'll be a free kick to Sinclair. Sinclair has the ball, now goes in short to Gresham. Now Gresham eventually wheels around on the right boot and kicks it to inside the forward 50. Up goes Mason Wood from 5D. Can't take the mark. On the ground now. Boak works hard, gets the ball. Kicks it outside defensive 50. Long. And it should get onto Burns-Jones. He works onto it nicely. Gives off the handball. Spins out of trouble there, Tickle, but left the ball behind. So Wilkie gets the ball back to Marshall. And now St Kilda can work back with it. Weird kick there in the middle of the ground, but Windhager works onto it nicely. And now kicks it inside the forward 50. Nice kick and finds Jack Steele. So Jack Steele, about 45 metres out. Pretty slight angle, to be honest. I picked cigarettes for 2 years. My school was so bad, everyone did drugs. I never did any drugs, but I know cigarettes are hard to get off. Congratulations, man. Like, especially at a young age, because you said I think you were 19, so yeah. I remembered now I'm a silly idiot like my mum. Jack was fucking rip. So Jack Steele should kick this goal. Comes in, kicks towards goal. Pretty straight. Got the distance. You bet it does. Jack Steele kicks the first goal of the last quarter. And St Kilda are only down by 2 now. Great finish in the end. What age do I look like? Let me have a look. What was it again? Captain L... What was it? Captain... I think I just spelled it. Captain LF. There it is. Hey, you're a little bit younger than 19. Yeah, probably around 19, 20. Yeah, I'd probably say about 19, 20. You don't look... I'd say grow a little bit of facial hair. Maybe actually 8, maybe a little bit 17. So Kilda have the ball now in the forward 50. My game is glitching... My KO is glitching out, but eventually got back to it. Then go get your girlfriend, so don't sleep. Nah, she's in bed at the moment. She doesn't like the footy like me. So now Steele has the football to Burns, and Burns kicks it to the top of the goal square now. Lear should have marked it, dropped it though. Now it's a scramble inside, just outside the goal square. Mason Wood gets onto it, tackled by 3 power players and tackled to the ground. Captain for you, my funny dude. What? I didn't even know what you just said. So back in the ruck, Tickle knocks it down. Gresham tries to soccer it out of midair. Goes across the goal. Now Boak works onto it with Burns. Does nicely there, Boak. Eventually gets the ball now and kicks it away down to the wing. In a one-on-one here, Finlayson can't get onto it. Wilkie does nicely on the ground. Handballs it over to Sinclair. Now Sinclair over the top to Ross. He has some time here, Seb Ross, and kicks it about 25 metres out. Up goes Mason Woody, run over it. Now out the back. Steele gives off the handball to Gresham. Gresham to Higgins. He gets taken high. That's got to be a free kick. So St Kilda to get the lead back early in the last quarter. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, Palpepper tried to go up for the ball, but he just came down. It was definitely a high one. That's a free kick to Jack Higgins. That's not him playing for the free. He was playing for the frees in the second quarter, but that was actually him. So Palpepper's actually reaching for his leg here. I don't know what sort of injury he's done, but got a small injury. And now Jack Higgins to kick St Kilda in front. He's kicked it out to the right. That's a terrible kick from Jack Higgins. He hasn't even scored. That's a terrible kick. So 2-point lead still to Port Adelaide. Early in the last quarter. Burton has the football. So kicks it long now. Just outside the centre square. Up goes Lordy. Didn't get the ball. Winhager now to Clark. And now Clark kicks it back inside the forward 50. Gets out the back. Mackenzie will get there first. Gresham sockers it off the ground. Just has to pick it up. He's fumbled. He just has time to kick it. Wasn't touched. I think he's got it. Jay Gresham with a brilliant goal for St Kilda. And they take the lead back early in the last quarter. Great finish from Jay Gresham. They almost messed it up there, the Saints. But he just got on it just in time. And now they lead by 4 points. Great goal there from Gresham. Worst kick I've seen in the game. Which one was that? When I was 18, my voice didn't even drop. When you were 16, you looked 10. Yeah, I could see that. If you grow a little bit of facial hair, you look a little bit older than what you actually are. Gresham got very lucky here. He almost dropped it. He almost fumbled it. And I think Burgoyne, coming across, almost touched it here. Is it a Burgoyne? Yeah, I think it's Burgoyne. Oh, he almost touched it. St Kilda only got the 5, only inside 50 to this last quarter. Marshall knocks it down. Boat gets onto it though. Gives off the handball to Wines. Wines back to Burton. Back to Wines. Now Port Adelaide can work it forward. Butler tries to chase him down from behind. He's gone. Now St Kilda can work it forward. Steele has the football. Rosie from behind takes him down. And he's gone. You start to look your age now. Yeah, I think I'll look at you and probably think 18, 19. So Rosie gets the free kick. Kicks it inside the forward 50. Not the best kick. Working hard back with Stocker. Can't take the mark. Now Dixon has his time. Has a lot of space. Kicks it on the left boot. It's swinging towards goal. It goes to the goal square and punches through. Eventually rolls through for a behind. So back to 3 points. Port Adelaide have wasted some chances in this game. Oh, that's good, man. So now Battle has the football. Goes long down the wing. Up goes Filippo. Can't bring it down. Teakle. Out to Burgoyne. Burgoyne swings around on the right boot. Kicks it long inside the forward 50. 1-on-1 everywhere. Dixon can't take it. Now Burn-Jones snaps it. Has that gone 15? No. Finlayson snaps around goal. He'll kick it. Jeremy Finlayson kicks Port Adelaide back in front. He doesn't miss very often, Jeremy Finlayson. Great finish in the end. And Port Adelaide are back in front now. I dare you to prank your mum and say you got a $50 donation and say your mum is dumb. I didn't because I'm not good looking. Not more like you. My mum doesn't live here. I live with my partner. So she's not here. Because I'm not a bitch. I don't live with my mother. I don't live with my mum anymore. I'm a big boy. But I'm not going to send her that text because I don't even have anywhere for you to send me a $50 donation anyway. I think I could set up a PayPal or something, but that seems kind of weird. Setting up a PayPal for a 13 subscriber channel. This guy's probably 9. No, I think he's 15, he said. I said, call. I'm not going to call in now. It's late. It's 9:30. It's time for bed. Free kick against Finlayson, and we'll go to Owens. I think he got a bit unlucky there, but it'll be a free kick. So Owens will take the free kick in the centre of the ground here from the centre clearance. St Kilda have had 22 free kicks to 11. I don't think the umpiring has been that bad. There's been a couple of shocking calls, but St Kilda have the free kick count on their favour. Ollie Wines gets the ball. I go to bed at 11:30. Oh, you're so lucky. My girlfriend tells me to go to bed at 10, and if I don't go, then she bashes me. 15-year-olds think you're adults. Yeah, that's fair enough. She doesn't bash me, I'm joking, obviously. Back in the ruck now, Finlayson knocks it down to Ollie Wines. Now Wines kicks it up in the air. Winhager sits under it. Can't get there. Rioli drops it. Now Steele gets tackled well by Burn-Jones. Bring to ground, so it'll be a ball up. Just outside 50 here for St Kilda. 14 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Down by 3. You have a bedtime? No, I don't have a bedtime. No, of course I don't have a bedtime. I'm fucking 25. Imagine if I did. So now Wanganeen Malera kicks it towards the top of the goal square, gets out the back, past to Leah. McKenzie will be the first one back. He's got a lot of pressure on him though. Tackled well by Mason Wood. It'll be a ball up just outside the goal square here. I go to bed when I want because I live in my own house. Oh, big fella. Wish I lived in my own house. Just outside the goal square, Finlayson knocks his opponent out of it. Butler tries to get his boot to ball, can't do so. Ross drops it. Now Aaliyah just kicks it straight up in the air. Dangerous kick. Saints run through it. Owens just fists it forward. Finlayson can't pick it up. Just a scramble inside the forward 50. Owens runs past it. Boak is clean. Gets it out, but a shareable kick. Turns it straight over to Wilkie. Oh, you're making fun of Mr. Roblox. Oh, okay. Kicks it long. Up goes Butler. That's a free kick against Butler. Poor play. Don't know what he was thinking. Moved down when I was 17. Oh, okay. Do you work like a 38 or 40 hour week? Worst kick for Port. Travis Boak. Yeah, he's definitely not as good as he used to be. But about another turnover, so back to Patton. He has time to kick it back inside the forward 50 now for St Kilda. Turns around on the right, kicks it long. Up goes Filippo, missed it. Mason Wood does nicely, gives off the handball to Gresham, who gets taken down, but gets a foot away, gets the kick away, and it's through for a behind. Oh, you work online. That's cool. Not your YouTube channel, is it? No, you wouldn't be getting paid yet. I think you have to have I know. You need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So Port Adelaide up by 2 points. Bergman has the football just outside 50. Goes in short, finds Burton. Now they're inside the middle of the ground now. Boak has the football. Doesn't have too many options, so kicks it long out to Lord. This I think his first or second touch of the game. Now has the football, has one teammate on the side, but doesn't really want to give it to him. So Lord goes back to Boak. So Boak has the football, goes long with the kick, up and under ball. Dixon can go up, great. Coming from the side there from Battle, takes the mark. Online jobs can choose when I work or not. Oh, that's cool, man. Oh, well done there from Dixon. Great pressure. Palpet has the football. Breaks past Battle. And Port Adelaide up by 8 points. Great pressure. Well done there from Dixon. He's done well tonight. Hasn't had too much influence on the game. But he's actually caused 2 goals from his defensive pressure. And Port Adelaide have an 8-point lead. Considering St Kilda have absolutely dominated this last quarter, Port Adelaide are doing brilliantly. I got 474 subs on my other phone. For what? Oh, YouTube. You haven't had ideas recently? For what? YouTube. Great work there from Charlie Dixon. Just smothered the ball and Pepper got it back. And kicked an easy as you like goal. That's poor play there from Josh Battle. He had to get off the mark and I don't know what he was thinking. So back in the ruck now. Finlayson can't win it down. Sinclair off to Ross and St Kilda will get a really good clearance here. Kicks it long inside the forward 50. Lear works back. Bergman comes across from the side, does nicely to bring it to ground and immediately lands like a cat and gets the ball and kicks it out from defensive 50. Long down the outer wing. McEntee in a one-on-one does nicely to get in front. Palpepper works through nicely. Somehow gets the handball away. McEntee kicks it long towards the forward 50. Lord works hard, can't get onto it. Owens gets the handball out somehow. Battle sits on it. Good tackle there from Lord and be a ball up. Just over 11 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. So Owens wins it down, only as far as Horn Francis, almost threw that out there. But it gets to Butters. Now Butters back to Bergman, has time. Kicks it long inside the forward 50. Wilkie sitting in the spot. Should mark and does. Good mark from Cal Wilkie. Always all reliable. Kicks it short and finds Stocker. Has some time. In fact, I think that was Patton. Kicks it out towards the wing. Now Membry. Has some time. Doesn't have too many options though. So it looks like he's just going to have to go in short. And finds Patton again. Patton's got Stocker on the right. But decides to kick it long. Gets some meterage. It's a shocking kick though. Turns it straight back over to Butters. He's had a brilliant game for Port Adelaide tonight, Butters. Probably best on ground for Port Adelaide. Goes short, finds Williams. There he goes short to find Finlayson. They've got the overlap here, Port Adelaide, if they want to go. He's got Bonner. No, he's got a short. He's about short 20 metres out, size 20 metres in front of him. But finds Houston inside, back to Williams. And now Williams drives it inside the forward 50 now. Dixon in a 2-on-2 with Battle and Wilkie. Lord goes up as well, can't bring it down. Scramble on the ground. Butters works through nicely. But it looks like it'll be a free kick. High one for Josh Battle. And I bet you this time Josh Battle's going to get 20 metres off the mark here. Look at him. He almost runs backwards. They need to rush the forward 50 to win for the safe open. Yeah. So it goes long with the kick. It's not the best. Does well there. Windhager to work through. Now Houston works in hard. Can't get it. Now Crouch gets the handball out to Hill. Does nicely. Terrible play though. Now he gives it off to Bergman. And Bergman turns it over to Sinclair. So now Sinclair in the middle of the ground. It's a terrible kick. Rosie does nicely to come across. Now, Mason Wood tackles him. That should almost be holding the ball. I don't know if he got a legal handball away. Butters wanted it more than Ross, so he gets in there. Sinclair knocks it out to Patton, who gets out the handball to Ross, and now St Kilda have some space. Again, not the best handball. Gresham had to work back for it. But he kicks it down the wing, and now Mason Wood takes the mark. Oh, he gets a free kick. So Mason Wood has the free kick. So just over 9.5 minutes to go in this game. So St Kilda have plenty of time to work back into this game and get a lead. They need to start working it forward here. Mason Wood goes in short with a terrible looking kick. And then Houston takes the mark. Gives the handball immediately off to Burton. Port Adelaide haven't stopped. They want to keep going. Has all the space in the world, Burton, but not the best kick. Junior Rioli, he's actually going to get a free kick. No, he blocked him. I don't know how he blocked him from in front, but anyway. Free kick will go to Patton. So Patton doesn't have too many options, but just finds Battle in short. Want to hear the funniest joke ever? What? Now Clark has the ball on centre wing on the broadcast side. Goes long with the kick, just outside 50. 1-on-1. Great mark in the end from Owens on McKenzie. Made McKenzie look second rate. Now Owens kicks it inside the pocket. Marshall in a 1-on-1, but Bergman comes in from the side and takes a good mark. Great work there from Teakle to hold off Marshall then from coming in and hitting Bergman. So now Bergman goes long with the kick down the wing, battling a 1-on-1 with Lord. Both holding each other, and Lord gets the free kick. He got very lucky there. I think both of them had a bit of jumper. The umpire saw Battle take the jumper of Lord. He goes in short, finds Bonner. Been pretty good since he came on, Bonner, as the sub. Windhager was the other sub for St Kilda, who was on as well. He goes in short to Horn Francis, just takes the mark. Been a bit quiet in the second half, Horn Francis. He had a brilliant first half for Port Adelaide. So centre wing on the broadcast side. Horn Francis goes inside the forward 50 now with a long kick. Up goes Lord from the side, can't take it. Dixon's on the ground right now. Butters gets the handball out to Rioli, who gets tackled well from, it looks like Marshall. It'll be a ball up. Inside the forward 50 for Port Adelaide. Just under 7 minutes to go in this last quarter. So now, in the ruck, Marshall wins it down. Can't get it down to anyone in particular for St Kilda. Horn Francis snaps towards goal. The bounce will count! It rolls! Oh, hit Wilkie on the line does well. So Wilkie has the football. My screen's gone black. That's fucking helpful. And now, outside 50, Higgins gets taken down by Houston to be a ball up. I'll be back. Need to fix something on my channel. All good, man. So 7.5 minutes to go in this last quarter. Port Adelaide in front. Marshall in the ruck does nicely to push Dixon under it. Gets the kick out, does well there. Filippo in front takes the mark. And now St Kilda can go. They can stream off half back. Hunter Clark goes in short. Finds Windhager. Stops nicely though. Didn't have any options. So just handballs it back to Ross. Now we have Hunter Clark from 50. Has time. Kicks towards goal. It will roll. It will bounce. And St Kilda back to within 2 points. Hunter Clark with a brilliant goal there for the Saints. Now I've got to go to the bathroom again. Hey, doing Michael McFarlane? I'm going to go to the bathroom. You cover for me, bro. spins. So Port Adelaide have the ball inside the forward 50 now. Juan Francis kicked it in there, and I think it's with Dixon. Let's have a look. On the replay, it is with Dixon. A good mark in the end there from Dixon as well. Saw that on the replay. So now Dixon, not too far out from goal. To kick his second of the game. He's done pretty good things tonight, Charlie Dixon. Comes in on goal, kicks it straight through the middle. Port Adelaide have that 8-point margin again. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the idiot's house. Knock, knock. Who's there? The chicken. The chicken who? The chicken who that went across the road and to go to the idiot house to knock on the door. I mean, that was the best joke I've ever heard. I'm not going to lie. Captain LF is back. How you doing, man? We missed you. It's been a good game tonight. So back in the ruck now. St Kilda are going to go if they want to win it now. Taps it down. Nice tap in the end of Sinclair. Over the top to Steele. Now Crouch kicks it long. Just doesn't even reach 50, to be honest. Now Houston just thumps it forward with his fist. Drew does well to work onto it. Gives out the handball to Butters. Gets tackled from behind but by Steele. Fucking Christ. Bergman just thumps it forward with a bit of a mongrel punt. Now Crouch thumps it forward and Aaliyah does nicely with the body. You answered the door and I said to get the idiot's house. I don't even... Dude, I didn't go to a private school. I'm dumb. Goes down the wing and kicks it to Butters. Not really looking too urgent to go forward. I didn't really understand the joke. Am I the idiot? Across the road to go to the idiot house to knock on the door. Are you the idiot or am I the idiot? I think I'm the idiot no matter what the answer is in the joke. I'm not going to lie. Wangan Miller knocks it out. Only as far as Marshall. Now Marshall back to Crouch. Then only turns it over to Horn Francis who kicks it inside the forward 50. It rolls. Willie Rioli didn't want to go for it hard enough. That was pretty poor from him. And Patton got it. Howard kicks it long. Up goes Mason Wood to fist it away. But only as far as Mackenzie who turns back on the left foot. Kicks it back inside the 50 for Port Adelaide. Dixon goes up, gets pushed out of it. Gets knocked out of it. Now Boak gets the ball, kicks it away somehow. But now Patton has it for St Kilda, who gets tackled. It'll be a ball up just outside the forward 50 for Port. So Port Adelaide, if they can kick another one here, they can almost you can almost write it off as a win here. But they still need to keep scoring. You're right, Roadblocks, man. You're right. In the ruck, Marshall knocks it down. Horn Francis gets tackled. That's holding the ball. Great tackle there from Hunter Clark. We can see what Horn Francis was going to do there, but Clark hit him nicely. And if I'm not going to lie, I think Hunter Clark's balding on top there if we can actually look at that again. I kicked 7 goals last week. Oh, nice, man. I kicked... I don't play footy anymore. I don't even know what I'm going to say. So when are they dry? So has Richmond called you up to go forward? Because if they've had injuries, they've got up forward. You could get a game for them at the moment. Just call up Dimmer and just say, look, I'm ready for you when you need me. Until Tom Lynch comes back, I'm ready for you. So St Kilda kick it forward, but it's a terrible kick and Houston will take the mark. It was a fumble, bro, not holding the ball. Was it? I don't know. No, it was holding the ball against Horn Francis. So now Port Adelaide just take a little bit of time off the clock and they might as well take off a minute if they can here. So Bergman has the ball now on the back flank here for Port. I play seniors, nice. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know, for the Richmond, I know. Goes long with the kick, Bergman. It's not a very good one. Clark will take the mark. Last week in my club, I kicked 5 and 3 points and won by 13. You kicked 3 points. You could have kicked 8 goals, dude. You suck. Owens gets the ball, but a terrible handle to Marshall. Butters does well to work hard onto it. Now Marshall, little soccer forward, goes to Higgins. Higgins has time. Kicks towards goal here to bring the Saints back into it. It's faded late. And Higgins just misses back to 7 points. It looked home. The umpire barely moved until the last few moments. So just about 3 minutes to go. 143 to 130. What the fuck was that game? Where's the defense? Bring some defense into your game, mate. Where are the defenders? So now Finlayson has the ball in the back half. Kicks it long, down towards centre wing. Up goes Teakle, couldn't take it. Now McEntee gets taken high there by Marshall. And it will be a free kick. Oh, it's holding the ball. Oh, he got lucky there. So Marshall has the ball, goes inside. Good kick, finds Hunter Clark. I thought he got taken high, but he got a bit lucky. But anyway, Clark has the ball inside the middle of the ground. Goes long with the kick inside the forward 50, but it's all Finlayson. Terrible kick there for St Kilda. They've lost their forward structure in the last few minutes. The kick from Finlayson goes short to Mackenzie. I thought it was 15. It wasn't paid. So he just drills it up long. Battle can't mark it. Tickle works on the ground. Pretty poor. Steele gives it back to Marshall, who kicks it inside the middle of the ground. Jack Sinclair and Butters working hard between each other. Gives it back to Rosie. Rosie somehow gets the handball away to Houston, who gets taken down. He's going to be pinned for that, Houston. Oh, how did he not get pinned for that? I got 43 disposals, 4 goals and 8 disposals. 4 behinds and 8. Wait, 4 behinds, 8 goals. Jesus Christ, you guys are fucking good. I mean, I kicked 10 last week, but I don't know. So Port Adelaide take another mark inside defensive 50. Jeremy Finlayson yet again. Only a minute and a half to go in this game. If St Kilda want to go and get to win this somehow, pull this win out of the jaws of defeat, they're going to have to score one quickly. Dougal Howard thumps it away, but only as far as Rosie. Down to Boak, now to Dixon. Short kick, great kick, finds Ollie Wines and tells his teammates to settle. I could goal of the year last year. Oh, did you win a car, bro? Oh, good on you. So Ollie Wines just takes a little bit of time off the clock, kicks it long. In the marking contest, 1-on-1. Oh, Tickle dropped it though. Wilkie gives up the handball to Howard. Howard to Burns. Burns has some time, goes into the middle of the ground. It's not the best kick. Horne-Francis missed it though. Clark tries to break the tackle. Taken high there. It got hit high there, Rosie. Umpire doesn't call it. Play onto the call. Wines gives up the handball to Horne-Francis. Breaks past the tackle nicely. Burns-Jones has some time. Kicks it inside the forward 50, but it's a poor kick. Umpire's not going to pay deliver it. I don't even know. I don't know. It looked like a bit of a skill area. Okay. I mean, going forward, I think it's very hard to pay one. But anyway. Also have 4 BNFs. Free kick goes against Horne-Francis. Goes into the middle of the ground. It's a poor one, though. Sinclair can't get the handball away. Ollie Wine starts well. He gets taken high there. That's a free kick. Stocker's giving it away. It looks like Port Adelaide are going to pull out a unbelievable victory here. Not many people saw Port Adelaide winning tonight against St Kilda in Melbourne. But I think Port have got it now. Ollie Wines has the football. Goes in short and finds Dan Houston. Wasn't paid. He goes in short and finds Mackenzie. And the time will run out here for St Kilda. Port Adelaide with a massive victory tonight. What a massive win here in Victoria Port Adelaide have had. The siren will go. Ken Hinkley celebrates on the boundary with his team. And what a victory to Port Adelaide. A massive win. They win by 7 points, Port Adelaide. No one saw this coming. All the credit to Port Adelaide tonight. The final scores. 11-10-76 to St Kilda to Port Adelaide. 12-11-83. What a win for Port. Port Adelaide tradition. I will be back. I'm checking the ladder. There's history here in the making. We've got the power to win. We'll never give in till the flag is ours for the taking. Power! Well done there for Port Adelaide. Alright, I'll just bring up the statistics, guys. Alright, I'll bring up up the statistics now, guys. There's history here in the making. We got the power to win. Alrighty, guys. So with the touches for the game, most touches on the ground, we had Jack Sinclair, played brilliantly for St Kilda tonight, had 33. Travis Boak led our comers for Port Adelaide with the 30. I think he played quite well tonight as well. Jack Steele with the 28 along with Zach Butters. I think was best for Port Adelaide, to be honest. I know he doesn't have the statistics on the board, but I think he played brilliantly for Port Adelaide. And finally, we had Seb Ross with the 27 touches to round out the top 5. And with the AFL fantasy watchers out there, Rowan Marshall had 159, a massive game for him. Second was Travis Boak with 127, Jack Steele with 120, Dan Houston with 117, and then rounding out the top 5 is Jack Sinclair. It's a brilliant game there in the end. I've won 6 premiers. Dude, you guys are like the best. Like, fucking hell. I mean, I think you guys are actually mistaken. I think you guys are actually, like Gary Ablett and Dane Swan in their day. Like, fucking hell. Those are insane. I'm decent. Yeah. Decent. 6 premierships. A fucking Brownlow medal. A fucking Norm Smith. Fucking... Yeah, you're pretty decent, bro. I'll give you that. If it was a late draft pick. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking mid-season draft, bro. If you want to go for it, I'd give you every chance. I'm actually going to be... I'm not going to apply for the mid-season draft. I'm thinking, like, 2020... The 2024 draft, I'm thinking about it. I think I may be a smoky for the number 1 draft pick, but I'm not getting ahead of myself. Swans, Roblox, Richmond. What's the current ladder at the moment? I want to have a look. That's not the ladder, is it? Oh, for fuck's sake. I want to see the ladder. There we go. Alright, Port Adelaide are currently 3rd on the ladder right now. Their percentage was so fucking dreadful, though. They're 102 in percentage because they got flogged by Collingwood earlier in the year. Yeah, that's why I don't believe that St Kilda are... I don't think St Kilda are very well favourite at the moment. Well, not favourite, but I don't think St Kilda are very well spotted at the moment. I don't think that they can beat a top side. We saw tonight, the 2 teams that they've lost to this year have been Collingwood and Port Adelaide. And the other teams that they've beaten, they beat Essendon, which is a pretty big win. They beat Carlton, and Carlton have looked pretty woeful the last few weeks. And who else have they beaten? They beat Fremantle in round 1 and the Bulldogs. Yeah, I don't think... They're beating teams that are in poor form, like at this stage. I think that's right, isn't it? 1, 2... They beat... 1, 2, 3, 4... Who else have they beaten? Gold Coast. They beat the Gold Coast, yeah. That's 4, Dylan, you dumbass. 1, 2, 3, 4... No, 5, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I don't think they've got a team just yet. Already got noticed by Scout. Oh, cool. Yeah. Was one of Jono? Because I remember Jono. Yeah. I can't play against the second best team. I need to go play some games. All good, man. I'm probably gonna end the stream now, guys. Anyway, but thanks for watching today. I really enjoyed a couple of people watching along with me because gets a little bit boring sometimes when I'm just commentating the whole game. So I appreciate you guys joining up. Hopefully, if you want to and you felt like it, feel like I did alright, then hopefully you subscribed or whatever. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I may be live streaming one of the other games this weekend as well. But hopefully your teams that you guys are supporting win this weekend, or unless they're playing the Swans, then go get fucked. But other than that, appreciate it. Thanks for watching. But for now, I'll catch you all later.